stuff, and she was like, "I really like Chris. He sounds cool."
Try to be. I mean,
it's a good thing you're the DM for this one.
We try. This is my Oscar. Roll initiative.
We try not to be dicks to the audience. We're all right. Like,
Yeah.
When we're in Chris's basement, fuck all of you.
You're like, but you're like, you're willing to watch
Let's fight
the
about
stream.
Exactly.
By the way, have y'all seen a video of Oscar actually rolling dice?
No.
I've seen him hitting it around. Is that the one you're talking about?
Maybe.
Is it like a plastic dice?
It's a plastic die I throw up there, and he was sitting in the table, and he just paws at it, and it shoots out and rolls. But the first time I did it, it rolled a 1.
Nice.
All right, we are
Oscar
streaming.
rolls a one.
What is this?
Oh,
Oh,
we're streaming.
it's empty.
Okay.
I should put
It was my new watch band.
Ooh, fancy.
He doesn't have Prime, so you
And
had me
it's-
order it.
It's magnetic?
Magnetic, yeah.
Ah, that's fancy stuff.
the fancy stuff.
Start tracking my steps again.
This time I can actually be Dungeons and Dragons instead of
That's
just
right.
not streaming on YouTube or Facebook.
Do. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna start every episode with jock jams. And then Jimmy casually whistling Mario.
That was me.
Oh, it was you? My bad. You and Jimmy are both good whistlers.
All right.
How am I supposed to know?
Whistle.
You live with Jimmy. You should be able to tell his tone.
Whistle.
Yeah.
I thought the only thing in whistle was tone.
We got Toad.
Eagle 20. Fox 2.
By the way, Philip.
Jammed. Won't
Just-
fire.
Just Cress. They don't match.
What?
Sorry.
From
it was
Yu-Gi-Oh.
It was that
Oh.
tone. So, FYI, this doesn't pertain to anybody but Philip.
Getting all the hair off this blue ball.
That sounds so weird. In
These are
the
different headphones.
Are they?
I moved him around.
Yeah. Well, I'm usually that microphone and headphone set.
That's why
Oh.
this is so hairy.
I'm gonna use these for initiative or for what's
Inspiration?
it called? Inspiration. Thank
What
you.
are
Are they firecrackers?
They
Fate tokens?
are
Oh,
fate
okay.
tokens.
Oh, okay.
Are they pretty?
They're coins.
Ooh, did they say fate on them?
Yes.
What's
do.
it say on the other side?
1 fate point and then a minus.
Oh, okay.
Because technically, if you have enough of these, you can use them instead of dice and just pull out.
I
That's
see.
nice.
If you have, what is it, 16 or something like that? Whatever the 4 fate, 6 die, 24.
24. Yep.
Fancy.
So,
Last time.
oh, what I was going to say
we
is
weren't playing this game.
the bookstore that's up in Prince Frederick
'Kay.
has a Stargate SG-1 book, fan book.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
Like I said, only Philip. Well, Chris might be interested, but
It's a fan book?
well, meaning like it's one of the official novellas. Like it's stamped. It's
Oh, okay.
Oh.
like I don't know if it's canon or not.
Okay. I was gonna
but
be like, it could be canon or soft canon. maybe.
Yeah.
There's-
it's an official book, but where it falls canon wise is
It's just a normal novel? It's
Yeah.
not like a comic book or something?
no. It's a novelization.
Son of a gun.
What'd you do?
I apparently took all of the
Snack.
bottle openers off of my keychain.
Jimmy should
Anybody have
have
a
one.
bottle opener?
Chris does.
Oh, you don't bring your keys inside, do you?
Dunka.
You've got his car. Go, go, go.
Ready? Thank you.
Well, you've got Ashley's car. We just changed the oil in Ashley's car. Go, go, go.
Sweet.
No, because we didn't fix the problem.
Oh no.
What was the problem?
Clearing it didn't fix it.
No.
Oh, is it a new problem or the same problem?
Uh-oh.
Just different part.
So like a pressurizing problem? What is
Time to troubleshoot. What's
yeah.
the problem?
It's a fuel emissions thing.
All right. What's your code?
Was it 46005 or something like that?
That's too many.
Whatever. It was like 4605 or something.
I don't remember.
I don't. You
asked
looked at it.
I looked at it. I said, Ashley, is that the one? She said yes. I erased it.
Okay.
And it came back.
Yes.
And then
Did you tighten your gas
Gas
cap?
cap.
We don't have gas caps. That's one of the issues.
Did you put saran wrap over your gas cap?
Well, no, the
It's-
Fords don't
it's
have
one of the gas
caps.
capless ones.
I know.
Yeah.
And then it's a constant problem that they're running into with some of the emission stuff.
Well, the earlier ones do, and later models they put a
Didn't they put the flap on there
they
again?
put the flap's always been on there, but
Okay.
they put like a rubber gasket that kind of like
around the
suctions.
yeah.
My Chevy.
Not that this matters at all for.
No.
Hey,
My Chevy Impala just has a specific sensor that
Roll
evidently
repair.
goes bad all the time, and I had the same kind of code, and it was pretty inexpensive.
But it
to
did help because
switch.
her MPG did go up because
good.
she was losing her gas mileage went down, but
Fuel
so it
efficiency.
fixed or not fixed, but it helped.
Well, it
So it wasn't a waste.
I told you, it's just like the duster. Every time I fixed a part,
Yeah.
the part it was connected to would break. And I'd
Cascade
fix that
failure.
part, and then that part, and then that part. By the time I was done, I think I built a brand new car.
Yeah.
Another thing you should check is the vacuum lines. Go to where your air intake goes. And
Yeah,
check those.
that's
Sometimes
and-
those split or crack, and it throws off your air fuel mixture, and then it'll pop your
Ah.
codes.
Good to know.
Apologies for a second.
I can't hear myself well in my headphones. Can everyone else hear me? Okay. Okay. I
What?
just didn't want me to be really quiet, and then
Who else? Is
be
it
an
just
editing
her?
issue.
Sydney say that too. Somebody else is always like, "We always hear you fine," and they're like, "I don't hear myself."
Is the,
Oh.
What's the volume thing on yours?
Well, the volume thing would be for if she can't hear anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just you.
She's not.
Might
she-
just be. Yeah, I can hear everyone else. I just can't hear myself well.
Oh, that's interesting.
It might just be 'cause I'm talking loud. What happens when I whisper? I can hear myself pretty well when I whisper.
Okay. There you go.
I was about to say I can mute your microphone. You could see what the difference is.
Nah, I don't care that much. As long as everyone else can hear me,
Did you
it's
just-
fine.
Did I what?
Nothing. Your hair looks nice.
The cat's putting his head in my shoe.
It-
Aw.
It's pumpkin ale. Have you tried this one?
I have. Yeah, I had some at your house.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. It was the first bottle I found when I was running out the door.
All right. No idea if we'll have any people because usually Facebook is the most popular one.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Is this just Twitch?
Twitch and YouTube,
Oh, okay.
the Yub Tubs.
Is it just not letting you post at all?
Facebook's been having issues all day.
That sucks.
They're not saying it's a denial of service, but that's making everybody wonder, is it actually a denial of service?
Is something wrong? This is definitely not a denial of service.
Yeah.
Well, I
why,
can't
why'd you
get
go
it-
there?
I can't get on my Facebook, so I'm being denied service. So denial of service.
Anyways,
Jimmy, are you making your character right now?
He's looking at his spells.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
need spells.
gathering likely creatures
Ah,
that
I
I
see.
can transform into.
Oh, nice.
I need spells too. Dang it.
That's right, you're a druid. What did you end up being?
Ranger.
spells.
Ranger.
Also, you know what else works for that? D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
They don't have all their spells,
Oh,
though.
man.
because they don't have the Ravnica spells.
If you're going to have...
Well, Ravnica only has one spell.
That's right.
I found this out. Ravnica has
That's right.
a
I did
spell.
scroll down. I did scroll down through the Ravnica
the
thing.
encode
And they
thoughts.
only had like
which is for
two,
me.
What's it called? Archetypes.
You're a tree person, right?
Yes.
And you're a tree person. And I'm Boros.
Mhm.
You two can both requisition a D4 of moving trees. I can requisition a D4 of... Are you Boros as
Philip
Yeah.
is Boros.
well? Oh, I thought you were playing the sneaky people, but you weren't. You were pretending to be Boros.
No, he's,
Are you actually Boros?
as far as you know, he's actually Boros.
Okay, fair enough. So you can requisition. So we
Yeah.
can essentially assemble a small frickin' raiding party
Mhm.
and just attack anything that Chris is
Just go.
throwing at us.
Keep in mind, it says simple equipment. Requisition simple
No,
equipment.
no, no.
Yeah,
we can.
privates are simple equipment.
Yeah, it says in the
That sounded
sergeant
bad.
when we go on our missions,
Yeah.
we can is it a D4 for is it D6?
This is D4 for. It's D4 for everybody.
Oh, it's a D4 for, okay, yeah.
There
so,
are certain groups though. Certain guilds will let you requisition personnel.
oh yeah. Oh, that's right. If we were
You know
if
what
we
the
were a
great thing
higher
about
rank,
requisitions is?
Yeah.
They can get denied.
they can't get denied. Well, I mean, like
He
as-
saw through it.
Well, hang on. Did it actually say requisition or did it say
They use requisition.
for everybody?
I don't know. Regardless, doesn't matter.
Find out.
Do you really want to push down this pathway?
I just want to
Hey,
read.
a lightning bolt
This-
comes down and strikes
This is
Philip.
the hill I will die on.
I'm just reading.
All right.
How dare you, sir?
Right?
Creative.
All right, you ready for me to get started?
We found our rules lawyer.
Yep.
Yeah,
go ahead.
that's
yeah,
fine.
All right, welcome everyone to the Dirtbags of Holding, and specifically our new D&D 5th edition campaign, which we've played before, but now we're gonna do kind of like a story that basically we can default to if nobody else wants to run a game.
Woohoo!
I like it.
So, specifically, I've been wanting to run a game in the world of Ravnica.
Nerd.
Which, yeah. So are you, Corey.
Don't tell me what I am.
You're in my basement with me playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Playing a person
okay?
who likes trees.
Hey, guys,
Girl, I'll be loving these
when we
trees.
fight bad guys, are you going to use your magic cards?
Do you
I
have magic
should.
cards?
Not anymore, but.
Oh,
I probably
forgot.
actually have some.
I think Jimmy
What?
has
I
them
left
in
my
a
deck at home. I should
I used to have them.
I think you still do in like a shoebox in your parents' house.
They probably.
Nice.
But yes, Ravnica is one of the planes in Magic the Gathering. It's one of the ones I thought was the coolest. And in fact, they released it when I first got into Magic, so there's that too.
And there's
But-
a D&D book.
There's a D&D book now, so now we can play D&D in Ravnica. Specifically, for those that don't know, Ravnica is, I like to call it steampunk Coruscant, where just the entire world is just a big city.
Cool.
And this world is governed, quote unquote, and basically split up into 10 different guilds. Not everybody's a part of a guild, but these are the major power players in the world of Ravnica. And I've just got a quick summary. So you have the government body, which is the Azorius Senate, a military force, the Boros Legion, an espionage network, House Demir, an association of raiders, the Gruul clans, 2 scientific research institutions, the Izzet League and the Simic Combine. The Simic are more nature kind of experimenty, and the Izzet are more mechanized. An organized crime family, the Arzhov Syndicate, Raucus performance troops, collectively known as the Cult of Rakdos, which bends to the whims of a powerful demon,
Fun.
and 2 wildly divergent groups devoted to nature, the Gogori Swarm and the Selesnya Conclave,
Woo!
which I think the big difference is there is dark and light on that,
We're the light ones.
pretty much. What are you...
I was tying my shoe.
Tying a shoe.
Oh, you were saying sword.
Swarm.
Swarm.
Swarming.
Oh.
Swarm.
I thought you were like...
Storm.
Okay.
I said I wanted to be a Slither, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? That's a magic thing, right?
It is a magic thing. Okay, so let's start by having everybody let's do the name thing real quick.
The name
The
thing.
where you say
Oh,
your name.
Gotcha.
You know, like the
We play saying our name or our character name?
Yes.
both.
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 So, hey everyone, welcome to the Dirtbags of Holding and our D&D Ravnica game. My name's Chris, and I'll be your GM.
My name is Philip, and I'll be playing Visker.
I am Chris, and I'll be playing Darius Lunos.
My name's Corey, and I'll be playing Brian Yarrow.
My name is Jimmy, and I'll be playing Bear Grin Hill.
Is this Visker the third?
I think it's the 5th.
Fourth, fifth? Okay. So now, tell us a little bit about Visker.
Your name sounds a lot like Bear Grylls, just by the way.
It's Bear Grin.
Bear Grin
Like,
Grills.
Bear Grylls Hills. Visker is... What do you want me to tell?
Just like introduce yourself like as what someone on the street or
If you were any household appliance, which would you be and why?
a toaster.
An air fryer.
A toaster. You leave me on, I'll burn your house down.
So just like a little bit of not like
Oh, don't go. Okay, so yes, I'm playing Visker. I am a member of.
what would
the-
someone notice about you in the world of
Just like-
Ravnica?
If somebody asked you to introduce yourself in real life, what do you be like? Well, what do you want? what do you mean?
Should we do this in character? Should you
weird-
introduce yourself in character?
Yeah, introduce yourself in character.
Maybe we're all finally meeting one another.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
All right, gotcha. So,
Hey, look, ideas.
All right. I'm Visker. I'm a sergeant in the Boros Legion, part of the Wojeks. So I run around and learn things and gather intelligence and catch traitors.
I'm Sergeant Lunos. I'm with Visker. I'm the muscle to back him up when he needs it.
He's the words, he's the brawn.
That's right.
I'm Brian. Nice to meet you.
Is it Brian?
Brine.
Like a
Like
turkey?
Pinky and Brian?
Like a salt.
I guess so, okay.
Yeah.
Peaky and the brine.
I'm part. What is my enclave?
Selesnya.
Selesnya. Yeah, that's where I'm from. And don't mess with me, and I won't mess with you. That's all.
Also, she has manta wings.
Shh. It looks like a cape. But
We can
gross.
see them.
No, it's
They're-
like Batman.
we can see them.
Well, they just look like a cloak until I jump down.
Yeah, they're a little veiny.
My
Are you
name.
calling my vein?
Hey,
Mm.
it's nice. It's nice, Vanny. It's okay.
Don't
Hi-
presume.
Hi,
to
my
touch.
name's my name's Oscar,
And I'm just jumping on the table.
and I'm just here.
So it's my turn to roll.
And my name is Bear Grin Hill, cousin of Bear Grylls. I am a member of the Selesnian Enclave,
Cool.
much like Brian.
Brine.
It's Brian now.
I am a friend of nature and all animals, and I love recycling. And you had better too.
Okay.
I second that.
All right.
Well, we're in a world that's a city. What natural resources do we have left?
There's actually
Dirt.
so I did some reading so that was something I need to talk. There are a lot of naturalized areas. It's
like
just
big parks.
ish.
Okay.
Think
Uh,
like Lothlorien.
Yeah.
Like there's pretty cities, tree houses.
Yeah, or think like a like trying to think what's the
Endor.
best way of describing it. Imagine just like if if a farm was just in the suburbs and just surrounded by the city
Mhm.
as opposed to like off separated kind of thing.
Okay.
So like there are farms. This is going to be important because the area that you're in is a lot more naturalized than other places.
Okay. I thought most of the food came from subterranean, yada yada yada.
Some of it is,
Okay.
not all of it. It's one of those like the natural resources can't fully sustain, so
Gotcha.
that's where
So there's gruel. There's
Yeah.
Soylent Green if we need it.
so
It's people.
within the world of Ravnica, we are going to be focusing on an area that's known as Precinct 3. Within Precinct 3, it is in the shadow of the giant tree that houses the Selesnya Guild Hall. So that's where this place is most prominently known as is the Guild Hall. But in the shadow of this tree lies a neighborhood called Beasthaven. This area is walled off from the chaotic nature of its neighboring precinct, the Precinct 4, which is known for a lot of unsteadiness. It's where a lot of like guild disputes break out. It's just there's never really a moment of peace in there. There's always something going on in Precinct 4. But luckily, there's a wall that separates all the different precincts. And so a lot of the people that are looking for a peaceful existence, they've migrated over into Precinct 3. Typically, the most exciting thing that goes down in this area is like a wild hog getting free and running through the streets. That's kind of like an exciting day for people.
That happened yesterday.
However, sometimes situations can get a bit more complicated. For that reason, the Selesnya and Boros guilds have created a group to investigate and cooperate and deal with these complications. That group is known as the Briar Shield.
That's right.
Cool.
So, we begin with your eyes are burning from all the smoke. The smell of sulfur is so strong that you can taste it. As survivors are found, responders are getting them over to a nearby inn where Selesnya healers are waiting to treat their injuries. You hear the shouts of spells being cast as magic users work to douse the flames. The day started off as a calm sunny morning, so when the explosion happened, it was heard for miles around. Your respective guilds have asked you to work together to find out the source of the explosion that destroyed several buildings in the heart of Beasthaven. Eventually, the fires are contained and you are allowed to investigate the scene. For a minute, the smell of burning wood is replaced with that of burning animal remains.
No.
You've tracked the center of the explosion to one particular business. Picking up the remains of a wooden sign, you dust off some ash to reveal the name of this store, which is Delvar's Delicacies.
You said this was the middle of the.
It's just one, yes. This is you've gone to the center of the explosion, and it is this business.
Do we know this Delvar? Like, is this?
Oh yes, so Delvar's is a very hopping place. So Delvar's run by a couple, Harold and Lucius Delvar.
Oh.
They are known. So a lot of the Selesny, not everybody, but a lot of them are very vegetarian, vegan types. So Delvar's is the eatery to go to for plant-based food. Like they've imported various spices and plants from all over Ravnica, and they specialize in making the best meatless meals. So Delvar's is like the place to go.
And we smell nice cooked meat now.
Well, that would be. I said animal remains.
Yeah.
That would be because next door is a stable.
Okay.
What if since we live here, do we know what kind of stable? Is it like for cattle or is it like horses?
It's more of since this part is near the precinct. This is more for import and trade stable. So it's not designed for stuff to stay here.
Yeah.
It's more of like a holding ground.
Gotcha.
You said it was a herald and who?
Harold
Lucius.
and Lucius.
Harold and
Lucius.
Lucius
Both Delvars perished in the explosion.
Oh. Harold and Lucius are gone.
His blonde hair was beautiful.
All right. So we're showing up on scene.
Yes.
Our
So
squad.
like all the fires have been put out, and you're kind of it's one of those like everybody's keeping the population back, and you're the detectives basically like going under the tape.
The tape, yes, of course.
Yeah, that's kind of the scene we're at right now.
And we are the Briar Shield's premier squad.
Yeah,
Is it just us
Okay.
four?
pretty much.
Oh, we are the Briar Shield.
Yes.
Have we met?
This is an
previously?
experiment, so
Yes. And if we fail, there will be consequences
Do I know these two?
for us and our bosses.
Or are we
we'll
new to
say
each
that
other?
that introduction you did was like the very beginning, but yeah, this is like you've not worked together very long. You've only been put together for maybe like a month or so, and this is kind of like your first big case together.
And once again, we have Bergrin, Brian.
Brian.
Did you do that just so you could say Brian again?
No.
Yes.
Darius Lunos.
Darius Lunos and
So-
Fisker.
Sergeant Lunos. Yeah.
Sergeant Lunos.
And Sergeant Visker.
So Visker, Brian, and what was your name?
Bear
again?
Grid.
Bergrin.
That's right. Bear Grills.
Say it however you wish.
Bear Grin. All right.
Although I will not suffer being called by my cousin's name.
He's the famous
I'll become
one.
very upset. All right.
Okay. So this area.
What, Jasper? No, Jesper.
This area has been cleared. No people are here. It's just
Right.
us for the investigation.
Do you have
Yes.
another cousin who works in the water district? Is that Bear Gills? No, just checking.
No.
Okay.
However, my cousin Bear Grylls does like to drink his own water. If you catch my drift.
So there are.
Does one of
I don't
your,
know that I do, and I don't know
Does-
that I want to.
Does one of your cousins make whiskey? Bear Stills.
Ah, yes.
No, his
Bear
name's
Stills.
Ben.
Is
Oh,
one of
I-
them an accountant? Bear Bills?
Whoa.
Yes.
One of them is a drag queen. Bear Frills.
Frills. Yes.
I love this game. Can we do this?
One
for
of
more
them's a
And then the
farmer.
one-
One of them's a farmer, Bear Tills.
And then Bear Chills, the guy who
Oh.
lives in the snow
he lives
community.
in the north.
Oh, he is the king of the north.
Yes.
King of the north. Okay, sorry. What were you gonna say? GM?
So
And then the pickle guy, Bear Dills.
Bear Grylls.
I love this game.
All right. Yeah, I think we're done
More
with this
will
game.
be introduced as the game progresses.
now I have a reoccurring theme that's
Yeah.
going to happen.
I have many cousins.
We're going to meet a cousin in every
Now
episode.
I know who the bad guy is gonna be.
Oh, God.
Bear Chills.
Oh man, Bear Chills.
All right.
As long as it's not Drainus.
So, while I said everyone's kind of keeping the general public back, who has been
and
a
who is this that's keeping the general public back? Like
consul.
regular
Probably-
Boros Legion?
probably Boris Legionnaires
Okay.
are most of what's doing it. The Selesnya that are on scene are the mages that were helping with the fire control
And the
Mm.
healer.
and the healers.
Okay.
The people that are allowed to come in are more of the people that live and work in this area, as far as like for assigning damage, finding out who, naming bodies, that sort of thing. So you've got people around if you want to investigate.
Cool. So, investigation. Let's see. We probably need to figure out.
So just to lay out, like I said, like in front of you, you've got the Delvar's delicacies. There's a stable house next door. There's a couple of residences kind of behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Are those still
Uh,
intact?
So Delvar's is pretty much toast.
'Kay.
Everything else is standing,
Okay.
It's a vegan
but
reference.
badly
Toast.
burned.
Charred.
I'm just badly burned.
Badly burned.
So maybe.
We'll say there's also a flower shop to the right of Delvar's.
and that one's just badly burned.
Yeah, they're both kind of the same thing.
Okay, I'm thinking we need to go find someone who saw what happened and is
Yes.
still
Well-
healthy enough to.
Let's ask the first officer on scene. So we step under the tape,
Okay.
take off our sunglasses.
Yeah, I flash my badge.
Yep.
Okay.
What
you-
does the badge look like?
Ooh, it's a briar
Briar
with
shield?
a berry on it,
Oh, okay. Briar with a berry on it.
and that
So we'll
means
say
I'm a level
say
one.
that you know this This is a Boris Legionnaire.
Yep.
What's his name?
Frank.
Frank.
Mm.
Frank was the first one on the scene, so he's like, and this is a private. So when he sees you walking up, he's not looking at you, but he's looking at you, stands straight, salutes, and
Frank
everything.
is not Frank. He is known for being very roundabout and kind in his descriptions. He is actually the worst person to be giving us the talk down, the turnover.
Soldier, identify yourself.
Private Frank.
All right, recruit. Were you the first one on scene?
Yes, sir.
What did you see?
So what happened was I was chasing this squirrel that had got into Natty's rooster hen over back a couple blocks down.
Oh, I am interested in this squirrel. Please
And
describe the squirrel.
the
in further
squirrel,
detail.
it shot up like one of the houses, jumped across a couple things, knocked over a bunch of pots and pans,
Hmm.
took off. So I was chasing the squirrel. I got tripped up. Next door, there was somebody. There must have been like a cart that came through.
Recruit.
Yes.
To the point.
Okay. So.
Be frank.
Actually, give me an investigation roll.
Oh, I can do that. Well, maybe I can't do that as good as I thought I could. All right, hold on. Crit fail.
Crit
Oh
fail.
no! First
So-
roll of the game.
First
Doing
roll of the
good.
game, starting strong.
Chris rolls a 1.
Surprise.
Basically, you get nothing out of Frank except for he just rambles for like the next 10 minutes
Oh, God.
talking about this squirrel.
The squirrel, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fisker, I think we need a different witness.
And then he took what out of the trash?
An apple core.
An apple core. What type of apple?
The red ones.
I'm taking copious notes.
Fisker,
I don't know the
remind me.
types of apples.
Hmm.
I just like red and green
Red
ones.
delicious gala. Hmm.
Have you seen the Samir have blue apples?
Could have been Honey Crisp. Blue apples.
I know, right?
Do regs
Hmm.
allow torture in this instance?
I mean, so as Wojaks, we get broad latitude
We
in
do, it's true.
in our. But there's witnesses.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't have to be. I mean, it could just be one more body.
We can't kill everybody.
Right.
Darius, we can't kill everybody. Not today.
Hmm.
All right. You should talk to him then.
All right, I'll talk to him. Private,
Yes, sir.
what are you talking about?
I was talking about the squirrel.
We don't care about the squirrel. Tell us what happened
Hmm.
here.
All right,
We
I'm going to need you to roll an
collectively
investigation.
Okay.
Actually, he already used investigation. We'll say you need to do a different skill since you're sticking with the same dude.
Intimidation or charm or
Persuasion.
Sleight of hand. Hey. How are you feeling today?
Is there a leadership skill?
There is
That
not.
would
a
probably
leadership
be just
skill.
intimidation.
That would be intimidation. Well,
Hmm.
my intimidation, my
The best
persuasion.
leaders don't need to intimidate.
Yeah. I could roll his survival. If he doesn't answer my question.
Nice.
So he needs to make a dexterity saving throw is what I'm hearing.
So
I should've
I
gone with
will
that.
roll.
I'm going to need him to make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm going to roll intimidation.
Intimidation,
Yes.
okay.
I got a 14.
All right. So you are intimidating him. What do you say?
Thank you.
What's-
Private.
What's your best drill sergeant?
Uh,
Ahem.
Yeah, thank you.
moves Mike away from face.
Private. know what's going on.
Oh, are you talking about the dude in the cloak?
Apparently I am now. There's a guy in a cloak.
Yeah, so while I was chasing the squirrel,
We call them veiny wings.
Oh my god.
so while I was chasing the squirrel, I almost had him. Like I caught him, and then it was dark. I realized it was a rat and not the squirrel.
Oh no.
Tastes
So-
the same.
But as I was coming around the corner over there, I noticed this shadowy looking figure. You know, whatever. Looks suspicious. So I peeled back behind the corner and just like watched him for a while.
And
All
what
right.
did he do?
So he stands kind of in the street, kind of like where we are right now, and is like looking at all the different buildings, kind of like inspecting the buildings. And then he walks up to Delvar's and he's kind of like looking around, looking over his shoulder, looks around some of the windows and stuff, and then just pieces out.
Pieces out, walks away, disappears in cloud of smoke. Is the explosion?
No, like as in he quickly skitters away,
He skittered off.
and
Okay.
like 5 minutes later, boom.
Okay.
And you didn't see anything else.
Well, I started to follow him, and that's when the explosion happened, and then I got kind of distracted.
We're going to need a written description of this person.
I just saw a cloak.
Cloak.
I
Taking
didn't
notes.
see any significant features. Humanoid, we're not talking, not goblin. Definitely not goblin.
How about ogre?
No,
Was it an
Two
elephant man?
Was it an elephant?
it was no.
Centaur?
It was definitely
So you'd say a medium-sized
slender.
creature?
Yes,
Did it have a tail?
I did not see a tail.
How about wings?
I did not see wings.
Is there any
either.
possibility that the cloak was actually wings in disguise?
You know, I've heard about that. So you know what? I don't know.
It's apparently pretty common, but most people can tell the difference.
It was dark, sir. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm just a
Sorry,
human.
Jordan.
I'm sorry. I don't have night vision like the elves.
Oh, it was night. That's good to know too. All right, fair enough.
This is like dawn. Yeah, this was like right before the dawn. Kind
Okay.
of.
So it was early in the morning. It was dark.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're saying like right now it's probably like related to our time, like 9 o'clock in the morning.
What do you recall hearing or smelling at the time?
Hearing, I mean, I didn't smell anything weird. There might have been. You know what? I was too far away from the center at that point because I was chasing the cloak dude. So I don't think I would have heard anything specific.
Okay. And what were you doing out there at this time?
What do you mean?
You were walking around in the middle of the morning.
I was chasing the squirrel. It was one of the shops down the way.
And how long were you chasing this squirrel?
A while.
What were you supposed to be doing, Private?
Well, the shopkeeper was perturbed, and
Oh.
I'm fairly new, and so I get sent all the dumb tasks.
Okay.
And so when the shopkeeper reported the squirrel, my superiors thought it would be funny to have me chase
Which
down the squirrel.
Shopkeeper.
It was the
The
let's
pots
see.
and pan seller.
We need to
Yes.
we need to follow up with them immediately.
Yep.
I think we should put aside everything else and go check with this guy and find out why he was tasking Boros Legionnaires.
Mm-hmm. So we need to check with the
So
kettle.
how long was
the
that
kettle
before we
and
were
black
thrown off the trail?
seller.
See, that's the point. Is I left the beginning of this very open, so it's actually
Oh,
not
there
that.
you go.
You're
All right.
you're still on track.
Hmm. All right.
You
perhaps
said the
we should-
flower shop was relatively unscathed.
No, I mean it's severely damaged and burned, but it is still standing.
Who owns the flower shop?
The flower shop is owned by a man named Tyrus.
Okay.
Tyrus the flower dude. All right.
I should have written that down.
I got it written down.
Tyrus
I'll
the
let you know.
flower
So, Tyrus the flower dude, he's not in his shop.
He's around it now making notes. Like I said, all the business owners have been allowed to go to like write down damages.
claims?
Yes.
So just to clarify, this is pretty flowers, not yum yum flowers, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Making sure.
Pretty flower.
Decorative
yum.
flowers.
Decorative flowers, not
and
flower
plants,
to
not just
bake
flowers.
bread.
He doesn't like when people only focus on the flowers.
He loves bushes and shrubs
Yeah,
and native
Oh.
plants
and all these
Yep.
trees.
and all these trees.
So now we know where to get your
Follow these
legion
trees.
of shrubbery.
Yes.
Are you needing the?
No. I was just.
Tyrus.
Oh yes. What can I do for you?
You
Ha-
seem awfully chipper for somebody whose house almost burned down.
Well, I'm
You seem awfully
He's hap-
suspicious to me.
No, he's just happy to have his health.
I'm just happy that I'm not dead, sir.
Were you in the shop when the explosion happened?
I was. This is me thinking, not him.
Yep.
Not him stuttering. No, I was out. I was out getting the getting my early morning.
Manure.
I'm trying to think. Manure supplies.
Yep.
I was getting my daily supply from Gord's. I'm just. He had all the supply. He had just gotten in a shipment for me, and I was loading up, and so I could get the plants ready and watered and everything before the shop opened up.
So just to make sure that we have good confidence that we know who and what you are, what kind of flower arrangement would you bring to a vegan funeral?
I think flower. Why does everybody say flowers?
Or shrubberies?
You're better off with like honestly, what I like to do is we have a nice enchanted vase that you can put the person's ashes in, and it will actually grow a very beautiful tree out of the vase.
It's beautiful. We have whole
And therefore,
forests of
it's
dead
got
people.
something if you can remember the person by.
Cool. You about to do an insight?
What are you rolling?
I believe him.
Everything.
I'm just seeing if I believe you.
I probably should have made you roll for the investigation, but okay.
Eh.
Tyrus, you might want to sit down. I have some news for you.
Oh,
We've lost the squirrel.
Harold and Lucius, they didn't survive the explosion.
yeah, I know. That's. I'm trying to stay positive because if I don't, I feel like I'm just going to collapse. They were some of my best friends.
Same here. Same here. Their fluffles were unmatched. So a quick question. We're trying to figure out what went down, and we think that the epicenter of the attack might have been their shop. Do you know anything about any trade deals they were doing? Any?
No, they were on the up and up. For as much as roll an investigation check.
Yeah, nat 20.
Nat 20.
There you go.
So he goes, well, they weren't per se on any trade deals, but I did notice something suspicious last week.
What would that be?
So it was time for the post, and the Demir messenger came up and was delivering a package.
Demir.
Was delivering a package to the Delvars, and something spooked him. And because I was out there as well, because I had a package that needed to get delivered to Precinct 4, and before I could he plumb took out of there, and before I could even give him my package, I tried to flag him down, but he was gone.
Did he take anything from them, or
No, something just startled him, and he ran off.
what did he look like?
He was about my height, blue hair, kind of pale skin, very nice clothes. I mean, he looked like he was not the normal postman. This was I guess maybe because of the parcels.
Yeah.
That maybe he was not the regular. That's why we got somebody different. But he was dressed the part, signets and all.
Of a normal postman.
Yes,
How tall is he? Average height?
average height.
But blue hair. Are most Demir blue haired? Okay, cool. That's a clue. Blue's Clues.
Yeah, the
Blue's
problem is
Clues.
not everybody knows who the Demir are.
Well, so this is flavor text for you.
Sure.
The Demir have a front, like the front face, like the what everyone knows them for.
The legitimate
is
business
the
side.
They're a legitimate businessmen that do the currying.
Sure.
And they also are the librarians, that sort of thing.
Okay.
In fact, a lot of the libraries are kind of At least I'm making them kind of postal centers as well. So imagine a UPS store with your library kind of thing. So that's their front facing. Everyone has suspicions that there's more going on, but no one can actually verify for certain.
And it looks
They're-
like one of them went postal. Sorry.
You got me.
Oh, I just got it. God damn it. I was making a map and not paying attention. Okay, so thank you so much. If you need anything from us, let us know. We're here
Oh,
to
no,
help.
please. If you need anything from me,
Definitely. We'll let you know.
the last thing I want is for this crime to go unpunished.
We'll figure it out. We're not supposed to make promises.
Yeah, we can't promise.
Okay. Is there
But we
anyone
will do
else?
our
that-
All right, Jimmy, you haven't had a chance to. What are you interested in right
I'm
now?
interested in viewing the crime scene.
Okay.
Presuming it's a crime. We don't even know if it's crime yet.
It could have
Well,
been.
it is a crime of some sort because there was destruction of property outside of.
It
But was
could
it
have been
natural or?
reactive recipe.
That's right.
True.
Got it, those dangerous
An
vegans.
exothermic reaction.
dangerous vegans.
That's right.
Yes, so I will stride into the ruined shop, Delvar's Delicacies.
I'm pretty sure TNT is vegan. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm looking up
Organic.
skills to make sure I'm varying enough that.
Oh,
Can minerals be organic? By definition, you don't use pesticides.
Yeah. You could
They're
probably,
all organic.
So how do you want
probably
to
make
search? How do you want to?
synthetic
I'll let you
minerals.
tell me. How are you searching this?
Carefully.
Like, are you
In a regimented
inspecting? Are you doing
fashion?
any?
You could do survival if you wanted to
Like,
look for
I'm not doing anything
footprints.
magical, if that's what
That's
you're
to say,
asking.
are you doing magical? Are you surveying? Like, are you surveying the
am
scene?
I am
Do you want to try and
percepting-
figure out the cause?
perceiving the scene? Yes, the cause would be investigation, would it not? I think I
So,
will
like,
simply
Are you searching for clues? Are you trying to deduce what happened? These are the questions I'm asking. Of what kind of?
Right, understood. Yes, I am searching for clues.
All right, so we'll do a perception check then.
Okay. I will roll my perception. Okay. That is a 23.
23. All
Yes.
right. So you notice that so you do like the fancy Sherlock stuff of like he's getting down on the ground and like
Mhm.
looking at the blast patterns
Yes.
and like he's like using his fingers almost like they're like rulers and protractors, and he's like
It's in his mind castle.
Mhm.
drawing out like in his head like where everything's going, and he's walking back and forth and he's like waving his hands around and kind of like just you spend about 15 minutes kind of dancing around. You do manage to kind of walk back where the explosion came from.
Okay.
And then where's everybody else while this is going? Well, he's
I'm at
dancing.
the flower shop.
You're still at the flower shop. Where are you two at?
Where are we? Are we interviewing other soldiers or?
you are wandering out and interviewing other soldiers. I appear to be wandering aimlessly.
Okay. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Who?
Let me see what my saving throw is. It is an 8.
An 8. So as you're deducing and kind of like walking backwards, that you trip over something and fall on your butt.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right.
But what you've kicked up, you've managed to kick over some papers and stuff, and you notice a small metallic cylinder
Okay.
that's got all sorts of fanciness on it.
I grab it and I look at it closely.
Okay.
And what is on it?
There's no writing to be had. It's some sort of hacked together device. Looks like it's burned up. Like it's clearly
a
burnt-
bomb.
burned to a crisp.
Got it.
But
Did you say there were symbols on it or?
no, there are no symbols or anything. The stuff that's on it is more mechanical based, like you see tubes
Got it.
going along the side.
Steampunky stuff.
Yes,
Okay. I
functional workings around the
Yes.
outsides.
I speak out loud as if anybody is listening. Like, this appears to be the incendiary device. I will log this for evidence. I look about for any animals present, still alive.
Not here in the not here
Okay.
in the shop in the
Okay.
in Delvar's.
All right, understood. And this is the only thing of consequence that I've seen. Everything else burned up.
Clues wise,
Clues
yes.
wise. All right. I exit the shop.
The other clues you found is what led you to find this device.
Okay. I exit the shop and
Yeah, you can deduce that this item was the trigger for the explosion.
right.
Though you do note it's interesting that the device did not burn up in the explosion.
Right. Well, it is metal.
Well, yeah, but typically grenades when they explode.
Right. Understood.
So
Or
this
bomb.
is this the bomb or is it the trigger or both?
It just released
Okay.
the fire spirit.
Mm.
And then the Fire Nation came. Attacked.
Darius,
Yes.
Brian, Visker, I have found what appears to have started the flame.
But he didn't start the fire.
I did not start the fire. No. Here, it is this cylinder made of metal.
Interesting.
Mm.
Can I take a look at it?
Yeah. I mean, well,
Can I do like an insight roll to see if I can find any new data on it? Or do,
insight?
or do we know what we know?
I always get confused. Insight's more reading people, right? Because insight's a charisma-based
so.
skill.
Insight's
correct?
a
It is.
wisdom-based
A
skill.
wisdom-based skill.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could do investigation, maybe.
Yeah, so
Well, I'm gonna say you were. Well, no, you did perception.
Yeah.
So,
I'm trying to tell its function, right?
History?
who's the most book? Are you the most book smarty person?
It's not me.
What class are you in?
Perception is a wisdom.
He's not allowed to
based.
tell us.
Oh.
Who's got the highest history? I guess.
I'm +0.
Certainly not me.
History?
Mm-hmm.
Roll
in
plus
other
three.
words, somebody roll me a history check.
I've got a 3.
If anything, I have a 0.
I don't even see history on my list.
It's there.
It's intelligence based.
0.
And then I'll be 0.
Oh God.
Go us.
So I have walked over, but I have not been paying attention.
Okay.
Visker,
I've been doing
this-
something else.
This metal cylinder was found inside the shop. It appears to be the ignition source.
Is blind.
Roll me a history check.
Still not paying attention.
Oh, okay. Visker is not paying attention. So somebody else roll a history check.
Or someone can like tap me and get my attention.
Hey, Visker!
Well, he called your name.
Yes, I did.
Not
I
paying
spoke
attention.
directly
Oh.
to your face.
Sergeant!
Ah, what? What? What do you want?
Found an incendiary device. This is your area of expertise.
Let me see that. Ooh, non-nat 20.
Non-nat 20.
Beautiful.
It doesn't take a big assumption for you to link this as some sort of is-it device. The is-it league.
Like, is it a bomb? Or is it an incendiary device?
Trust me,
It is.
I made an is-it joke.
Okay.
There's an encounter labeled it isn't what it looks like.
Now we know what's in there.
But is it?
The
I made a lot of encounters.
are they a league?
Yeah, I believe it's is it league.
They're a guild, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it's one of those are the mechanical mad geniuses, mad scientists.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
The Is It League made this. Why'd you guys hand this to me?
Well, for insight into who might have done it. So thank you for linking it to the is-its.
And for you, this is like, duh, it's a machine. Of course, it's is it. Like,
It's-
how did you guys not know this?
Yes, the is it made it. Does
Can I-
that mean the is it placed it here? You have any indications of that? You could buy is it devices. They're in the shop right over there.
No, they're over there.
I always get confused.
Just stand there and look pretty.
No, it's really over there.
Related to your history roll, you know the is it don't typically operate in this area, like in this section of Ravnica. Although they are just over the wall.
Is it stay out of here? There's too many trees, and fresh air.
Yeah, they are a strange kind.
They
They're like-
stand out in the like they do a lot of violent thing, or like when they do experiments in the peaceful side of the relative quiet of Precinct 3 and Beast Haven, their experiments would make them stand out.
So someone either stole this from the Is It, or the Is It gave them to him. I'm not 100. Yeah, this is
And they really don't like vegan food.
So meta knowledge, I know that the Is It have different labs.
Mm-hmm.
If we could we roll like a history check to see if we know those labs?
You could.
Okay.
I would let you roll. Is history probably the best one? Insight. Somebody roll
insight?
me an insight.
I know insight.
Hell yeah.
Let me find it.
Oh, I have 7 on insight.
You do? No, you should have rolled it then. I got 9.
Oh,
I had
you-
6, if
yeah.
it helps. I just rolled a 3.
May I also roll
You
it?
can roll your insight.
Rolls a 3. A
Nat
20?
20.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You don't know of any labs,
I should stop rolling.
but the biggest source, the biggest Is
Get
It
all your bad rolls out at the beginning.
conglomeration that you know of is Grutner's Gadgets.
Grutner's Gadgets.
Grutner's Gadgets is a store that's run over in Precinct 4. It is the place to go.
Is it?
It is.
Hmm.
Is it?
Okay.
In fact, they have a reputation for no matter what you want, no matter what you need, both legal and illegal, they can get it for you.
Hmm.
It's
All right.
basically like Elf Mart for this world.
I think we need to take this evidence to them and
Yeah.
say, who did you sell this to?
That's right.
Yeah.
Do any of the local shopkeepers here? Maybe we should ask them if they've seen any. Wait, sorry. Is a
Is the guild
it's a
name.
clan. It's
Yes.
not like a.
It is a guild.
it's-
IZZET.
Okay, got it. IZZET.
But it's a guild composed of many races and many whatever.
Goblins for a large portion are goblins, and
Okay.
that's who runs Grubnars.
Okay.
In fact, it's the lady that runs Grubnar is Grutners. I'm saying Grubnars, but Grutners.
June Grutner.
Mm.
Yes.
June Grutner. I ask Tyrus, the flower shop owner.
Hmm.
Tyrus, have you seen any of the Is It clan here recently?
No, but I did go. I mean, I heard you talking about Grutners. Did you mention anything about? Did you mention out loud, or did you keep that to yourself?
I probably would have mentioned it
Okay.
out loud. Yes.
I was at Grutners the few days ago though.
Hmm. Yes.
I didn't see anything specific there.
Okay.
Did see one of those fancy types, like the really prim and proper,
Oh yes.
the syndicate guys.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That they would be shopping at a Grutner's.
Well, everybody shops at Grutners.
True.
When he says syndicate, he means the Orsov syndicate.
Orsov Syndicate. All right.
I only know this because I happened to eavesdrop and heard him saying something about settling an old score.
Okay.
And the goblins caught me eavesdropping, and they upcharged me.
Rude.
I
Rude.
know.
Very rude.
They respect they respect the business of their customers.
Okay. All right. Briar Shield. Shall we go?
Activate.
Activate your Briar Shields.
Ding.
Ding ding.
Hey, get off the phone.
dang.
All right. Do you, anything?
Briar Shield.
You
Yes.
mentioned you were
Activated.
So
preoccupied.
while I
so
was
you want to narrate while
wandering around looking at like I was doing stuff, I was using my spy's murmur
Okay.
to speak with other independent agents
Okay.
to figure out who was tasked with delivering this morning's parcels to the shop.
Okay. This wasn't. Okay. Are you talking about the messenger that left in a hurry?
Yes.
That was last week.
Is that this thing blew up?
Yes.
I'm confused.
He's talking about the messenger.
The messenger. That was the weird thing is it was a week ago though, and the messenger left in a hurry.
Not the cloaked person.
Not the cloaked
was
person. Two
today.
different people. Here.
Oh, okay.
There's a cloaked
Okay.
figure that dropped off that you can infer dropped off the weapon.
But they weren't necessarily a messenger.
they weren't the messenger. Different person.
Okay.
Potentially. You don't know.
They had on a cloak.
They had on a cloak.
Definitely not manta wings.
But yes, you have no information that you, as of right now, you have
wish I
nothing
had
that
a bomb.
links the
I would
cloak
blow you
to
up.
the messenger. Those seem to be two different events. So what are you asking about?
What was Tyrus talking about?
Tyrus was talking about.
You don't know because you weren't paying attention.
Tyrus was talking about the Demir messenger. Because he had a parcel to give to him
From last week.
from last week. He mentioned it because it was weird how something spooked him at Delvar's
last week.
and he ran off before he could take this parcel that
So still,
Tyrus.
Okay, that's fine. Something
still
spooked him
legitimate
last
question.
week. That's
Okay,
still, all right.
that's.
yeah.
I'm just making sure. So you're talking about the messenger from last week, is what you want to know.
Yes, I want to know who that was.
Let's. Is that?
That's a.
So is that an automatic? So what are
It's
you using ability wise?
The Spy's Murmur is a device that I can telepathically speak with everyone else who has a Spy's Murmur,
Gotcha.
and it's just we're holding a conversation.
Okay.
That's legit.
She'll be like, "Hey, who was tasked with delivering a package a week ago to?"
You find
this
out
shop?"
it was a messenger called Borin de Grey.
All right. Does anyone know where I can find
Borin de Grey works at the Precinct 4 archives.
All right. Well,
Weird how everything keeps pointing you to Precinct 4.
someone should take a trip to the Precinct 4 archives.
All right, so you have this information. What are you going to say anything to them?
I am not, because we are currently headed we're headed into Precinct 4 though, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay,
Gretner's
gotcha.
Is that's the decision to go to Gretner's, right?
yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we're heading into Gretner's, and yeah, we're just gonna wander along.
So once you pass the gates between Precinct 3, Precinct 4, stark change of scenery.
Smog.
There's you know the
First of all, are we walking, or do we have a Briar Shield standard issue vehicle?
I think at this point you don't. I think you're walking at this point.
Interesting. Okay.
It's a first case. They're not gonna give us a car.
Yeah.
The Briar Shield standard issue.
You're lucky that they're not
a
making
set of slippers, right?
You're
There you
lucky
go.
that
These
you're
are
not
sandals.
making. You're lucky you're not. They're not using you to transport something.
Exactly. We can stop by Gretner's, see if they got some Heelys for us. That'll I'll get us all
yes.
along.
So
Enchanted
once
shoes.
you pass into Precinct 4, very stark contrast. The skies are a little dark, not darker in the sense of darker, I guess, in that it took you some time to get there, but also just it's a lot more smoky.
More industrial. I
More
guess.
industrial. It's also more chaotic. It's not very uncommon to see a fist fight break out. It's drive by Precinct 4 is where shit goes down.
Drive by arrow.
This is a world there could be guns,
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
especially you got goblins,
Or at least rapid fire crossbows.
right?
Yeah.
Like the nice pristine buildings don't exist over here. There's a lot of them that have a lot of scorch marks, quick repair jobs. Like, what do I do just enough to make my building look more appealing than the guys next to me?
Right.
Kind of thing. So,
Okay.
where are you going to Gretner's first?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So what do we know about goblins? Are they generally disposed to being nice to humans?
Depends on the goblin.
Okay.
So they are very obsessive about their work. Most goblins do tend to be Izzet League.
Gotcha.
We play this like Men in Black when they walk into the one shop, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey!
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
So our more background. Our Briar Shield.
Mhm.
Are there other Briar Shield units made
No.
up of just
This
us?
is an experiment.
This is an experiment between Selesnya and Boros,
Mhm.
not between anybody else.
That doesn't mean
So
crap to
nobody else
anyone.
else recognizes your
Authority.
Authority.
as a group. You do have authority as like you two have
Individual
more
guild
authority.
members.
Like Boros are kind of like the universal army, so you will have more authority here than they will. So
Right.
depending on the circumstances, I may potentially give you advantage or something.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Who is a person in charge of the Izzet collective? Like, who would they respect?
That would be dragon.
Oh, they like
The-
dragons.
The guild master
Well, the
is
guild
a
master's
dragon.
a dragon.
That's pretty cool.
The guildmaster is Nim. What's his name? Nim Mazat.
Because what can a dragon be? Anything it wants.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna argue. Yeah, you Yep, you can be guildmaster. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm showing you only because it's cool looking.
I'm excited to see it.
I think I
Is it like that one?
Did I go too far? Yes, I did.
I think so. Yes.
An adult red dragon.
I think he is red.
I think he's copper.
Is he copper?
Oh,
He
he's
might-
a metallic
he's
dragon.
a
Oh, then
good
it should be
dragon?
friendly then.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the. That's why.
He's in
I'm an
the
idiot.
monster manual at the back of the book.
Yeah, he is. Because he's an NPC.
Because you might.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Oh, he look cool. I like him.
All right.
Oh.
That is Niv Mizzet.
Cool. Okay, good to know. So, how do we want to go in here? Do we want to go in nicely and ask nicely for information? Do we want to pay them? Do we want to be deceptive? What is everyone's goal?
We're not likely to be as welcomed here in Sector 4, although
It's true.
the Boros Legion has some sway.
We could go in strong, kick everybody outside of the shop, close him, say, "Yep, we need. We're not opening you back up until till you answer our questions."
Their permits aren't in order until we.
Looks like we had another health code violation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try talking
Nicely.
first.
Could we case the joint for a minute and maybe see someone that they like come in or out? And then I take their identity and look like them?
Okay. How are you going to know if they like them from the outside?
By listening to what they say.
This is a big store.
Then I'll stand in the store and listen to what they say.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you're going in.
We could. It's just an option. I was
That's-
wondering
all
what
right,
people
I'm-
want.
This isn't like a shop with a window that you can peer in and look.
Gotcha.
This is like a Walmart.
If we go in, it's probably better if you and I stick together. And these two stick together.
This is probably more like a Dollar General
Okay.
size store.
Okay. Well, do you two want to start talking and we'll stick towards the back? And then if you need help, we got you?
I was just giving you the opportunity to not be associated with the police.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
So you're barging in and you're hanging back.
Yep.
I don't know that we're barging
Well-
in. I think we're walking in.
All right.
Maybe
So
look at some of the wares.
as you walk up to the old wooden building, you can hear the hum of the lit sign above the door that reads. It's like an old, like what would be a neon sign that reads Grutner's Gadgets. As you approach the door, unseen gears begin to squeak, automatically opening up the double doors so that you can enter.
Noise.
I still
uh,
love that.
A man in a top hat brushes by you as you enter, taking a big swig of some sort of liquid as he exits the building. Turning around, you see him tilt his head back and let loose a blast of fire from his mouth.
Cool.
Inside Grutner's, you are greeted with an assortment of lights and sounds, various devices on the walls blinking and chirping, aisles filled with bubbling liquids, and several goblins walking around asking people to try out their latest creation.
They're known for their hot sauce.
However,
Think we can get those doors on the garrison?
Maybe.
you two are going in first.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As they see you enter, you notice a lot of the talking starts to stop.
I bet they do.
And people begin to start shuffling out.
So look at this. We're disrupting business just by being here.
I'm okay with that.
Most of the people that there's a couple. There might be one or two patrons that are left. They're talking with various things, but nothing.
Yeah. I think
They're not. I haven't really noticed you at this point.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say kind of loudly, "This is a nice store, Visker. I think we might have to look around here for a while."
That seems like a good idea, Darius. I've been looking for some new wares for the quarters.
Yeah. This might take us a good long time.
This
At-
good?
At this point, a goblin woman walks up to you. She pulls out her cane
Mm-hmm.
and is walking up to you. Greetings, gentlemen. What can I do for you this fine day? Would you like to try? Are you interested in some new weapons? I have some mighty fine new swords.
Perhaps. But what are you doing?
What?
I assumed
Looking
you're a
something up.
talky person. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut.
Well, you can talk. Crap, I need a spell.
Hello, ma'am. This is quite a fine establishment you have here. It
Oh, I
looks-
do pride myself on keeping the store as pristine as possible.
The new weapons, you say?
Yes,
Mind showing me?
I do. I love me some Boros. Always know what I can get for you too. So she takes you over and shows you some swords. They've got like weird things you've not seen before on a weapon. Like that. Why is that there? You don't. That
Yeah.
looks weird.
It's like a sword with a scope.
Is this a bottle opener? This is
Oh.
ingenious.
This one is. She shows you one that like she shows you. She pulls out one that's like, she's kind of. It's probably as big as she is,
Mhm.
but for some reason she's able to like manage this one. She's got some muscle potentially or history carrying hefty things because she's able to hold it. But she manages to she clicks a button on the side and the sword retracts down to being almost like short sword sized.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Huh. That's interesting. That's some pretty interesting technology there. What kind of what kind of metal do you use there?
Oh, those are trade secrets. I can't reveal that.
But see, the style of metal, it dictates how well the edge will hold.
Oh, I trust you. This edge has got a guarantee on it. This thing ever gets dull, we'll fix it right up for you.
Well,
That's a Grutner's guarantee.
yeah, that's great. But if it gets dull and I need it still to get back here, then suddenly we have a problem.
Trust me, if this thing ever goes dull, there's gonna be you're gonna have bigger problems than than just escaping your fight.
Do you have anything that has a little more, say, finesse to it, bladed weapon wise?
Finesse.
Anything you could use dexterity for.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
While you think of that, could I do a perception check just to see what sort of protection they have here? Are there guards? Are there
Okay.
wards, etc.?
So what kind of check are you rolling?
Perception,
Perception?
and then maybe someone could do an Arcana if they want to.
Cool.
Nice.
24.
24. So you see of most of the people have kind of that have dissipated. There's the woman that you assume to be June Gretner talking to Chris's character, and then there's maybe 2 or 3 other shop helps.
Okay.
You don't see anything, but there is a lot of weaponry around. So
I would like to look for the entrance to the back office.
Yeah.
okay.
And I look for it.
I mean, it's
Where is
it's behind the counter.
It's
Door
behind the
says
counter.
employees only.
Yeah.
Okay, now I would like to look for a spot in the store where there are no other patrons or guards or
There's plenty of those.
basically out of sight. All right, I will find one of those spots. I will ask Brian to cover me, and then I will wild shape into a spider.
Okay.
When you wild shape, do you retain your same weight?
No.
You choose, I think.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Just be like a 180-pound spider.
You pull off an
That'd
Ant-Man.
be-
Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's excuse me. When you it depends on I think it depends on the creature. Like if
Yeah.
you're, so for instance, if you're like a bear, you can choose like, does your stuff wrap around you or does it disappear altogether? Or
For the stuff you're wearing and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about your general mass.
no, you become basically the
Okay.
Take on the physical characters.
the
but
physical character.
You maintain your int, whiz, and
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
Yeah, so I will change into a spider, and in this spider form, I will infiltrate the
Spider bear?
office.
Spider bear.
Yes, spider bear.
All right.
How many medium-sized creature feet were you away from the door?
That's a great question, but I can travel 20 feet in a turn as a spider.
I think it's because he was casting a spell.
So meanwhile, this is happening. June is showing you a whip.
Oh.
That's like where when you swatch it, there are little sparks that fly out. It's more of a distraction kind of
Yeah.
gathering weapon than it is an actual damaging weapon.
Okay, that's nifty. Well,
Master
it's a-
Ju or what's her name? Gunther.
June.
Gunther.
Yeah. Grutner.
Master Grutner, this is also another interesting weapon. Do you manufacture these yourself?
Oh, I dabble, but most of these come from my contacts in the Izzet League.
I see. So you collect wares from other makers and you supply them here in your shop?
Yes,
And
and
take a
we
cut of the profit?
Oh, of course.
I understand the business model. This sounds interesting. I'm just killing time.
So
Yeah.
do your
Philip, what are you doing?
so I've been standing listening. So have your contacts ever brought you anything like this? And I pull out the cylinder.
So
And there's a firefight.
no. I'm trying to figure out. I want you to do a skill check, but I don't know what I.
Insight to see what her reaction is.
I'll be watching her for that.
Yeah, do an insight check.
I cast Zone of Truth.
What does that do?
It makes them speak the truth.
Okay. What's the level of that spell?
Level 2.
Level 2?
Mhm.
Your spell doesn't work for some reason.
Spell does not work for some reason. Okay.
Do we see anything in the room like glow?
Yeah, does anything
or-
react when I cast my spell?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, Jimmy, when you wild shape,
Yes.
but all of a sudden you see you see like a red light flash and you change back into your normal shape.
Oh no!
Ugh.
Do I still use up my wild shape?
And then June looks around and is like telling Chris's character, "Oh, pardon me," and he's like, "No magic in the store."
Does she know where the magic came from?
Well, she probably
She
On-
saw the light saying magic was happening in the store.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Goodness.
Okay, that's
All
fine.
right.
So
and Jimmy was kind of hidden, so
Yeah.
there was no real telling where that came from.
There goes that idea.
it happens. All right. So
It'd be pretty easy for. It's like, sorry, but that is a basic kind of a shopkeeper thing. It's so easy with the magic users these days to wander out with my precious goodies.
I can understand that there,
Makes sense.
madam.
Makes
All right.
sense.
So So I asked her if she had seen. Have you ever seen a device like this come through your shop?
I need you to roll an insight check.
Roll an insight check. Non-nat 20.
Not
Hell
nat
yeah.
20. You can. She starts to she starts to flounder, and you can tell she knows something, but she's just kind of. I don't know. I mean, it looks similar to some of the other things I've had.
Madam, it would behoove you to tell the truth about this device.
Why is that?
Darius,
Yes, sir.
the lady needs a little persuading.
Ma'am, you have a lot of good clientele that come in or out of here. I can imagine in this area you deal in some stuff that's legitimate and some stuff that's probably a little more under the table. It probably wouldn't benefit you much to have a garrisoned group of Boros sitting outside your door screening patrons as they go through.
All right. So she gets in close and is like whispering, like, I can let you. That is an incendiary device.
We already knew that.
That I can tell you that we've supplied those to many guilds. We don't make it vastly available to the public, but we have let the Boros use them before.
That's very nice of you. When was the last time you sold one of these?
I'd have to check my records on that. I don't know if we personally carried them in. I will have to double check. It has been a while. We had an incident a couple years ago, and I had to restrict the size of explosions that get sold here in the store.
Okay, because we had an incident last week.
This morning.
Sure.
How do
this
you
morning.
know?
No, I'm this.
I caught her in the line.
DM.
I know.
Oh, really? Where? What happened?
Over in Precinct 3, one of the I'm just gonna call it flower shop. One of the flower shops.
You wouldn't
It was an
happen to
eatery.
know anybody who'd be interested in harming nature-associated people or people who eat nothing but plants, do you?
Hmm.
I know they can be despicable. However,
I mean, I'm not a big
live
fan.
and let live.
I'm not a big fan of the trees myself, but I mean, using one of. And you said they used one of these.
They used this one.
This one. Well, she takes it and starts inspecting it a little bit more. Well, that is odd. So she goes, you see, this is not a normal, is it, incendiary device. This looks like it's been tampered with and modified.
It isn't it.
Remember what I said with it isn't what it looks like? Because I find this interesting because normally an incendiary device of this size, this scale, is not used in like a mass destruction of property sort of sense. This is more of a personnel size device.
So this is a personnel mine, not a tank mine.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
So for it to have done that kind of destruction, someone have had to do some severe tinkering to it.
How many of these anti-personnel mines do you currently know are in the market?
I mean, any of them can be in the market. For
How
the
many
right.
personally came from your shop?
Well, none from my shop. I can guarantee you that.
Okay,
Like
great.
I told your friend here, I have restricted the after that incident 5 years ago. I have restricted the size of explosives that are sold here in the store.
If I happen to be a really aggressive meat eater and I really thought that people who only ate plants were nothing but prey, and I wanted to find these things to potentially use them on, say, a vegan shop, where would I go about doing so?
So she starts talking. Corey, you two actually. You two roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Each of us?
Yes.
See if anybody's like drooling when they're looking at it.
17.
14.
You want to roll yours again since it hit her die?
Sure. 10.
Whatever. All right. As Chris is getting kind of up in her face a little bit, you notice that one of the other goblins is starting to get a little nervous, and he starts making his way towards the exit.
Towards the exit?
Yes.
Is
So
it the same as the entrance?
and
That like a back exit, not like the front doors.
Okay.
they're a shopkeeper, right?
Yeah, one of the shop hands. Not June, but
Yeah.
one of her assistants.
What's the closest thing on the shelf to me?
Let's
Make
say
it some like potiony
a
thing.
bottle. Yeah, I was gonna say a bottle of some kind.
Okay, I'm gonna pick it up and walk over towards the guy and be like, "Sir, excuse me. This wasn't labeled very well. What is in here?"
And he's like,
No, really, I'd love to buy this. I just need to know what.
June is the potions expert.
June
You
is
should
busy.
really.
You know, June's busy. She's right over there. But like, I need to know what this is.
I'm sorry, but I got.
You guys make commission, right?
He turns around and just bolts.
He bolts.
He bolts.
So.
Sir, wait, we have allergies.
He quickly makes an exit, and you see June kind of like turn her head and be
He
like, "What
exit
the?"
through a back, like the back.
Yeah, so like imagine like a fire escape exit.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna
So, like-
follow him.
Okay.
Yeah.
As am I.
Do we see this?
Yes. Well, when you see her walk over, you did not see him shuffling around, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. You saw her confront him, and then you saw him bolt. Yes.
Okay. Who was that?
That was just. I call him Nimrod because he's kind of a doofus.
What's his name?
His name is Nymor.
You
Nine
said
more.
this is a fire escape,
Yeah.
meaning that it would be.
Well, I was explaining normal-
Emergency exit door. I think we're all on
Emergency
ground
exit
floor.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Okay.
This would
yeah.
be fun.
She wants to
Fire
glide.
alarm
I
go
wants
off?
to glide.
He ran upstairs and then jumped out.
So, yeah, we're on one floor. I want to run over to him and try to grab him.
Okay. So that's what are the rest of you doing?
Well, I am also in hot pursuit, and if I get a chance to go, I would use my thorn whip.
Okay.
There's a range of 30.
What are
and
you two doing?
Pulls
I'll,
people towards us.
So we saw Darius, help them.
When you-
Sure. This
by
could
the
be
way,
a distraction,
When
sir.
you turn around, June is gone.
Oh, no.
Oh, that wily. All right. I take the whip and we leave.
By
right.
the way,
I
I
yell
still
into
have this
my-
potion in my hand. 100%.
You do. It's a random.
Yep.
I yell into our wrist communicators that we all have. And
Oh,
we're like,
okay.
Dispatch, this is Briar Shield. We have a suspect on foot.
So as you as you all get outside, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Initiative.
Right.
Special thing with the initiative.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
5.
What? Is this like?
And we're doing this regular D&D style.
18.
Corey said
Classic
she has something
D&D
special about
style, huh?
initiative.
Yeah, I just add extra stuff.
Oh, okay.
Classic D&D.
This isn't like Darkness Rising. You have improved initiative. You're gonna kill everyone before we
All
even
right,
get a turn.
what'd you roll, Chris?
18.
Oh, also an 18.
Ooh.
Who's got the higher dex?
I have +3.
I have +4.
Okay.
Go to hell.
Jimmy?
5.
Phil?
have more dex
I got a
than
16.
16. All right, hang
You
on.
suck a butt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'd have more.
I'd have more what?
Well, because when I barded, I had to go with some charisma too.
That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
All right, so... All right. So as you peel out into the alleyway, you are struck with not just what I say, 9 more,
Yes.
9 more, yeah.
9 more, but another goblin that have 2 guns
Uh-oh.
pointed in
Whatever.
your direction.
Come at me.
9 more takes another small device and throws it out. It looks like a Ghostbusters trap,
Okay.
and stomps a foot pedal, and it electrifies. And all of a sudden, this big mamma jamma starts falling out of it.
Big.
Elaborate.
Mamma jamma.
Is it
I
a
will do
mech?
more.
He's
I will
elaborate. He's
I
gonna-
will do more than elaborate.
He's gonna picturate.
We should probably step on that trap.
We
This thing starts. You have a weird.
Oh, it
yes.
does look
Weird.
weird.
Is
It
it
is
weird?
basically a giant blue and red mob bursts forth out of the thing, and starts attacking you.
It's mob
So,
singular, not mob as in a lot of things, right?
as in like a big goop
Yeah,
thing.
okay.
blob.
Blob. There
Blob.
we go. That's the word.
It's a blob mob.
Does anyone know anything about these things?
Did you just call me blob?
I know it's probably not going to be nice.
Yeah.
Corey, you were first one out, right? All right, so it is going to bring its hands together and just slam them down on
Whatever.
you. So, what is your AC?
Let me check that. First time with this character. 14.
All right, you manage to quickly slide out of the way as his hand comes crashing down on the ground. You're in some sort of alleyway, by the way, at
Okay.
this point. You're in like the back alleyway of the store.
So is this weird thing super large within the alleyway?
It
like it's taking up-
is a. We'll say this is like it is like a large human at this point. So
Gotcha.
we're talking like 7 feet tall.
Cool. So
All right.
I go to the
So
side and I'm like, that
Chris,
was weird.
Chris, it is you.
All right, so I see this thing slam down in front of Brian, and I say, "Finally, some fun." I draw my sword and I start advancing towards it.
Okay.
I'm going to attack it.
All right.
Let me find my stuff. All right. Ooh, ouch. That is a 10.
That is a 10. You miss.
Okay.
What is the second? Is you just hitting with 2 weapons?
No, I get 2 attacks.
Oh, okay.
So second is let's do the math, 23.
23. You hit.
Okay.
And what kind of damage are you doing?
I do 10 piercing damage.
10 piercing damage. So when you slice at it,
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like it's having a lot of effect. Like you can see it's kind of causing tears, but a lot of them seem to kind of like blob back
Okay.
together. Also, when you hit it, your blade gets it like between your blade getting hot and you see little bits of fire spurk out. You take 5 fire damage.
Sweet. All right.
And then we're over to Corey.
Cool. I pull out my crossbow
Okay.
and I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
That sucked. 1 second. Let me take my weapons out. Learning D&D Beyond.
And Philip's like, I got my sheet right here.
Not where my weapon stuff
Just
is.
because I haven't built it in.
You could
my
also
other app
just
yet.
view
There we go,
your sheet
actions.
if you want to.
Well, yeah. This I have it though. So 12.
12, you miss.
I miss. Okay, well I have 3 attacks this
Oh,
turn.
jeebus.
Did I roll another 4? No, I didn't. Okay, good. 16.
16, you hit.
Okay, cool. So that is a D10. What number was that?
It was a 0.
Oh, was it 0?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So 13, and I get to add an additional
What type of damage are you doing?
piercing.
Piercing?
Oh, it's a boss. It's
Okay.
piercing.
Yeah, but I get to do an additional D8 on that because it's my first. I get the Gloom Stalker, so I get an additional. That's a 6. So what did I say? 10 plus 3 plus 6 is 19.
19?
And then I take one more shot. I feel like the first one I miss because I'm like trying to figure out where to shoot.
When
What
you shoot
happens
the
when I
air,
shoot it?
when you shoot them, the arrows they do kind of tear away small chunks, but they are mostly just going right through the blob.
Cool. So the third one, I want to try to shoot at the box.
Okay.
10.
Nothing. I mean, you hit the box, but nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
So Philip.
I'm gonna shoot the guy who opened the box
Okay.
with my short bow.
All right.
Oh, that's a. Yep. So 19.
Sorry, I was reading some. You did 19
Yes.
with a crossbow,
Short bow.
short bow.
Yes.
19 is a hit.
All right. All right. 8 damage
8 damage. All right.
on the guy who opened the box.
So he takes the thing and he starts swearing probably
More than likely.
in there. So and then Jimmy.
All right. I am going to make sure I'm positioned such that I'm behind all of these fine folks. And I have a 20-foot cube to work with. How many of them can I...
Sorry, say that again.
I have a 20-foot cube to work with. How many of our enemies can I
All
target?
3 of them.
All 3 of them. That being the 2 goblins armed with guns and
Mhm.
the weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will say into my communicator as all things saying like highlighting targets, and I'll cast Fairy Fire. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. I'll choose blue. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light. I don't know, a different color, violet. If it fails a dexterity saving throw, any affected creature any attack roll against an affected creature has advantage if the attacker can see it. And the affected creatures cannot be benefit from being invisible. So each of the 3 enemies has to make a dex saving throw against 15.
So this is not including the big guy.
This is everybody.
It is.
Does that mean Corey and I are stuck in that too?
Well, he
No, I would-
chooses the creatures, I believe.
I don't, but I choose the area, so I would target it such that you
Okay.
guys aren't
All right.
In it.
affected.
Just seeing if I have to roll.
And what do they have to beat?
15.
And that was what kind of check?
Dex.
Dex. All right. The one that triggered the trap does not, or he fails the roll. The other
Okay.
one did pass.
Okay.
And then the weird does not get affected as well.
Okay, so only the one that triggered a trap.
Only the one that triggered the trap has the little aura around him. So attacks against him are
have
advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So that is my action. I have to use that spell slot. Other than that, like I said, I just use my movement to make sure I'm behind everybody else. And that will be that
Okay.
for me.
All right. The first guy that triggered the trap, Nybor, he starts hitting the side of his gun and like flipping switches, and the gun starts like whirling up.
Yep.
And
So how do guns work? Are they considered just a normal weapon? Are they considered a magical item?
they're kind of have and have, depends on the item.
Okay.
So
but they don't count as spells, right?
it depends. It depends on.
Okay.
So meaning if you have something that triggers on a spell, let me know.
Okay.
So how close are you? You said 20-foot cube was your thing. So how close is everybody to? We're in an alleyway.
Presumably.
I feel like you would dictate that because we all piled out the door and then we had three ranged attacks and Chris had a melee attack, so you're the closest to the weird.
Right.
My attack is technically melee too.
I am tanking the weird.
I'm
But you two are.
crossbow
We'll say you two are towards the back and you two are up close.
Yeah.
You suddenly feel this distort. You can kind of see a ripple in the air, and you feel this distortion, kind of like almost like a some sort of pressure wave hit you and kind of go past you.
Did you guys feel that pressure wave?
But you don't feel anything.
Confirmed. I felt the pressure wave.
Okay. Boros, respond.
Oh no!
What pressure wave? I'm a little busy right now.
I was gonna say, Bahar. He's just like talking into some weird charm on his wrist.
No.
It's not actually working.
I really like having little walkie-talkies.
These
All
things
right.
never work.
It's a brooch,
Like
right?
seeing, okay, it does work, but seeing as how we are the only, like squad.
Right.
There's just some like random
Well,
old timey
dispatch.
micro. Yeah, we are our own dispatch. There's just like something in our quarters.
You
I
call
think-
for it.
I think right now dispatch is like a pet back home. Like-
Name dispatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a cat.
There's a cat named Dispatch.
And it's just one of those old timey the microphone with the transmit button on it, and he just like paws at it every once in a while.
Cat's wearing a tie,
Yeah.
of course.
So in addition to that, Nybor, the one that hit and made this thing, he also like kind of like cocks the gun and rears back and lets loose this like cloud of flame.
Yeah, sounds about right.
However, it is not centered on you at all. He is targeting the weird,
Yeah.
which all of a sudden roars and suddenly begins to grow, and is now like 15 feet
It's
tall.
one of those foam things that grows in water,
Oh,
except
it's
with
disgusting.
fire. Right.
Question.
While this is happening, Chris.
Yeah.
What is your AC?
Well, that depends. Are you rolling?
Yes.
My AC is 16.
Dependent on.
I have.
You're getting shot by the second guy.
Okay, my AC is 6. It's not a melee attack then.
No.
It's 16 then.
You trying to fight him up close? He gets
He misses
scarier.
though.
Okay.
All right. And with that, it is the weirds, and the weird is now going to take this, and he is going to target both of you now,
Whatever.
and then try and slam.
Come on and slam.
Put it in the hoop like wham.
Wham.
And that's how I beat Shaq.
Shack.
All right. Non-nat 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a melee attack.
This is a melee attack.
Was that against both of them?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, please
I
tell me. it
Can
doesn't
use a
kill.
blood curse as a reaction
Oh, blood
to give disadvantage on the attack roll.
Hoo-hoo.
Roll again.
All right.
Put that in your pipe.
Smoke beast, huh?
So what do you do to do the blood curse? Do you just cut yourself?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So unbeknownst to you,
Uh-huh.
that pressure wave you found,
Yeah.
gives the creature advantage.
So it just cancels.
It
out.
just cancels out.
Okay. So does he roll again or not roll again?
No.
So
He doesn't roll again.
Meaning I should have rolled 2 dice,
Oh, but you didn't.
but I didn't.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I
Mm.
gotcha. All right. So yeah, that's it.
All right. I'll let you do dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Since this is kind of like, it's not so much an attack as it is like a giant fist coming down. So both of you, by the way. Or did you dodge?
Ooh.
I didn't dodge.
I crit.
Okay.
What is that? I can't see it.
That's a 2.
Looks like a 2.
Oh, great. Probably not going to happen then.
Okay.
I
Alright.
nat 20'd.
All right.
Can I-
I'm an 8.
Can I take a narrative advantage?
Ooh, yeah.
You're probably not going to want it, but okay.
I
Depends on what it is.
I see it coming, and I see her start to flounder. I tackle her out of the way.
Beautiful.
All right.
Take half damage.
All right. I will say that you avoid the bludgeoning damage.
'Kay.
But
We
you
get the
take
fire splash damage.
the fires. You're gonna get half damage on the splash damage.
Okay.
You're taking the full brunt.
Okay.
So Corey, you take 13.
Cool.
And I'll round down so 6.
Thanks,
And then
Boros.
Chris, it's over to you.
All right. We're not going to get anywhere with this guy. I'm going to do something fun. All right, now I'm pissed off. So I turn, and you see my eyes shift to shades of yellow,
Ooh.
and my body starts to contort as my face kind of devolves into more of a wolf's head, and that's my turn.
Okay.
You just wait. You just
I feel like that
wait.
needs to be the end of an
it
episode.
needs to be like, yeah.
that needs to be an end of an episode.
Right.
It's just and I end my turn.
I feel
Corey,
like
it's your turn.
I see-
Unfortunately, it takes. Actually,
You can move.
I
you-
can move.
Yeah.
I am going to dodge around this guy,
Okay.
and I am going to go for the guy who has the flamethrower.
Okay.
do you
You're
have,
moving towards him. In other words.
Oh yeah,
Do you have a bonus action you could do?
I do have bonus actions. Nothing that I need to use now.
Gotcha. Is this a monstrosity? Like, what type of bad guy is it?
This is a elemental.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah, I do use my bonus action.
Although I don't know if I should have told you that, but you can assume it's an elemental.
Gotcha.
So as I move very fast around this guy, anybody who's looking notices that my sword and the claws that I'm holding with him ignite in fire.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Okay, Corey, what are you doing?
I'm just checking what this is really quick. Are you an action or no? Okay, cool. I'm going to cast the spell Absorb Elements and
Okay.
absorb fire.
Okay.
And that is my bonus action.
And
I
does that
believe.
just give you fire resistance?
The spell captures some incoming energy, lessening its effect on you and storing it for the next melee attack. You have resistance to triggering damage type until the start of your next turn. Also, the first time you hit a melee attack on your next turn, the target takes 1d6 damage of the triggering type until the spell ends.
So does he shrink a little? She consumes some of his fire.
Not in this. It's more of like.
Yes,
This
he's
is-
only 14 feet 10 inches tall.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting he shrinks a lot,
No.
but we see like a stream of fire come from him and gets absorbed into
Yeah.
your manta body.
Okay, so I feel like that was like
You see some of like the fire aura around him dissipate, but not like the actual blob.
Fair enough.
You jumped on top of me and like stopped me from being hurt, and then got up with orange eyes and ran off, and I was like, "No, I'm gonna fight him too."
So what happens here is you take the full brunt of that
Yeah.
fire damage, but you chant a spell basically and kind of like hold it in a little bit and let it. You can kind of feel it going through your veins.
Yep. How far away is the goblin with the box?
The goblin with the box is about 12, 13 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna run to him and I'm gonna shoot him with a crossbow.
Okay.
Where are my d20s? Here we go.
How does that a melee attack?
Because I'm a crossbow expert,
That's her
which
skill.
allows
Really?
you to do it as a melee
Did
attack.
you say a cross bro expert?
That's exactly what I am.
Yeah.
So she's just basically like
Typical Brian.
gun to your face.
Typical Brian.
22.
22 is a hit.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna do my second attack now.
Okay. Yeah, let's
Oh,
do
it also lets me ignore reload time.
Okay.
I knew that one.
That's pretty nice.
23.
You took a feat.
All right.
I did. Okay, and so that's a D10
I found
plus
the feats weren't in there. I had to write mine in.
7.
Don't you have 3 attacks
13.
or
Only on my first attack. So 13 plus 6 is 19 damage.
19 damage, and then don't you have fire damage because you did a melee attack?
A D6.
heck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so plus D6.
Well,
Oh, 2.
so 2 fire
21.
damage to the
So
guy.
21 is that
Yeah.
total?
I feel like this could look really cool. So maybe I like come over behind him and I shoot him in the back. And then he turns around and I shoot him in the front. And then it sets on fire.
Okay, so how does the fire, like the extra fire damage you do, what does that look like?
Well, he gets one arrow in the back, turns around, gets it in the front, and then I snap my fingers and they light
Nice.
inside him.
Nice.
Which cauterizes it, so it's not super great, but it looks scary.
Nice.
But it turned out these were like those magician flames real quick. It wasn't like a hefty, yeah.
All right, Corey, I need you to do dexterity saving throw.
Cool. I'm going to do a lot of those tonight, it seems like.
Your spec for dexterity, so that's not so bad.
That's a 7.
That's true. 13.
So when you did that explosion, it triggered some feedback on the gun he was holding,
Okay.
and the gun explodes.
But I wanted it. Did it hurt me?
It did not. You avoided the fire. The goblin gets consumed by fire, though,
Oh.
and
Shit.
and burnt alive.
Oh, sorry.
And-
shoot.
The weird comes over and just kind of puts his hand down and absorbs the rest of the fire and grows. He's now like 20 feet tall.
Who
Oh
goes
my
next
gosh.
after me?
I do.
Sorry, Whisker.
That's okay. I'm shooting the guy who let him out of the trap.
That guy's dead.
Oh, that guy.
That was the one that burned alive.
That was one just burned alive.
Can I see the player's handbook real quick?
All right, then I will I will attempt to run over and see if we can't get this guy back in the box.
That box is toast now.
When did the box go away?
It was next to the guy when it exploded. When his gun exploded, it.
Oh, the box exploded too.
Okay.
Damn.
The way you described it was like a Ghostbusters trap. where
That's
he
true. All right,
threw
it
it
would have
out
threw it out. Yeah. Okay.
and hit
Yep.
the-
Yep.
okay.
You're right.
Run
So-
back inside and find an ice weapon.
Find an ice weapon.
Or
All right.
an air weapon or an anything else weapon.
Portable black hole.
There you go.
Just destroy the world. Game's over. We're done. Okay, so I will run over. Yeah. So I'll run over to the actual box and start checking it out.
Okay.
See if there's a. So that's going to be an investigation check.
Sure. Is it
Okay.
investigation intelligence based?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. That's a. So that's a 12.
12.
It's a box.
This box is pretty much. It was a one-time use capsule. So it is pretty much fried when it was like released.
There's lots of.
Does it
lots
look
of-
like the incendiary device?
No.
Lots of
Like I
burnout
said, it
electronics
looks like
inside.
a Ghostbusters trap kind
Alright.
of thing, or at least that size object.
But lots of burnout electronics sitting
Yeah.
inside of it. Okay, gotcha. Well, that's just peachy.
If you had the time, you could. It's possible you could get it working
Ain't nobody
if
got
you
time
had
for
the
that.
time.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
Any of you
All right,
druids make it rain?
So
I can't.
during, hang on,
Make it rain. All right, Jimmy.
I've got my,
that was that. You did a standard action with your investigation.
yes, I did.
So what else you doing?
So I just want to make sure oh no, I printed out the rogue. Give me a second. That's elf. I printed out the important pages. There's rogue.
What are you trying to do? I could probably tell you.
Well, that's right. My cunning action. There it is.
You're
Yes.
trying to back away.
I will hide.
You're hiding.
Yes.
Okay. Stealth check.
I would do a stealth check. All right. See, and I'm expert in that.
By the way, when the dude exploded, that little pressure wave you felt it kind of contract back again.
Nice.
What?
Dang it.
Nat 20.
No, I wish it was a nat 20. It was a 19.
All right.
So 27.
Nice. You're hidden. You hide behind some trash cans.
Boom. Hidden.
All right, so the
Serviska ran away.
the goblin that
I hope we get around to you getting to
enlarged
fight.
to the weird has been exploded.
Mm-hmm.
What about the other goblin with the gun? Are
The
you
other
still
goblin with the gun's still there.
there? All right, I point at him and I say, "You drop your weapon, preferably into a recycling bin." And I I cast heat metal on his gun.
Okay.
We should stop using fire spells around this fire giant.
Right?
So I'm going to expand that. Choose a manufactured metal object. Let's see. They have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. What's the DC?
15.
15. They fail.
Okay, so they're gonna have to drop the weapon.
Okay.
Let's see here.
You hear him up,
Yep.
As he
let's
drops
see,
the
it's
weapon,
saving,
and you see him pull out a sword.
if it doesn't drop the object, at a disadvantage.
You see him pull out a rapier.
Got it. It did take
Rapier.
2d8
2d8.
fire damage from the holding onto the heated weapon, so that's 6 damage
Take that.
as
Foul
its hand
fiend.
gets
Okay.
seared, and it drops the weapon,
All right.
and the weapon is glowing red hot.
At this point, you see the weird,
Mhm.
almost like it's breathing, like it's taking a big breath, and you see it sort of swell up some more, and then all of a sudden it roars as it lets out an explosion.
Uh-oh.
I need everybody to make a another dexterity saving throw. You get advantage because you're hiding. I need you to beat a 12.
Nat
I
20.
didn't.
I did not either.
So I got a nat 20. Can I
17.
protect him this time? Because I have resistance to the damage, so I'm going to jump in front of him like a shield.
Suck a bit of it in.
Okay.
But I'm going to let my manta ray cloak out and,
Oh,
and
nice.
be like, yeah, it's nice to have a cloak. Huh?
All right. So who failed?
Nat 20.
Me.
All right.
Oh, I got 17.
You got so you passed. Okay.
Wait, is this a This is a magic spell, right?
This is a magic spell. Technically, yes.
It's a magical creature doing like a
Yes.
Nah, I already used one.
All right.
innate ability.
That would've
So
been
you take 14 fire damage. You take 28 fire damage.
Okay.
Holy Jesus.
And I'm trying to figure out how I wanted to play this.
You gave me half when I protected him last time, but I do have resistance.
mean when
Oh,
I
no, when
protected
he
you.
protected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have resistance. So you take, I'm going to say 7 because you still, there's some mild heat
Okay.
rolling off. And I'll give, because you have 7 as well, because you normally would be 14 and then half of that for your resistance. So you take
But
7 as well.
Okay, so half. But I did do the check.
Yeah, the nat
That's
20.
why he's allowing
The
you to
nat
protect
20
him.
is reducing his damage.
Cool.
If you had not done that, I would have made you take no damage, and he would have taken the full 28.
That's fine.
Which would have killed me.
Oh God, so I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I'm glad the 20 happened.
However, when it does this, 2 things. First of all, the second goblin has been burned to a crisp.
Whew. So these are not like
Man.
things they can control.
No, not very well.
Mm.
I can't sneak attack.
The second thing is that he has shrunken back down to like 6 foot, 7 foot size.
Oh, he
He
blew his
expended all
load.
of his energy.
Yep.
But he's not dead yet.
And it is Chris's turn now.
I can
Oh,
still
God.
sneak attack.
So are there any other bad guys, or is just this guy?
That's just this guy now.
Do I attack this guy?
Hell yeah.
Or do we run away?
Yeah, I
Attack
think you
him.
Attack him.
Kill
Okay.
him.
I may die in the process.
Whew.
So this guy, he likes fire, so I understand this, and I extinguish my hands and sword because I know I can do that. And I'll
Yeah, because you're around the back side of him because you were going after the second dude.
okay.
That is now like burned to a crisp in
Then-
front of you.
Then I'm gonna stab that dude.
Sorry,
Stabby,
Philip.
stabby.
But that's all right. I can still sneak attack that guy now.
All right, so a crit.
Oh,
Nice.
So that's a 2d8, right? 5,
Yeah.
7,
12.
so 12 plus 18 damage.
18 piercing damage.
Piercing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You feel a little bit more heft on there, but because you crit, I'm gonna say you don't get the splashback damage.
Okay.
In addition to the dealing double damage.
This is gonna hurt, guys. All right, I'll keep going. Attack again.
'Kay.
That's 21.
You hit.
Okay. 11 damage.
All right.
Oh, there's splashback every time.
Do I hit again?
Yeah, you take. This time you take 5 fire damage again.
Yeah. Okay.
And does the damage that he's doing look like it's doing anything?
Oh yeah.
It does.
You're definitely like globs are falling off.
Okay.
It's not like
Hitting chunks.
yeah, it's not as much as you would expect, but you are whittling it down.
Gotcha. That's good.
Is there anything else I want to do? No. I'm going to save my bonus
Is
on
that extra 5 damage going to kill you the next time you hit it?
Probably. I've got to kill myself on this thing.
What or your are you more of a glass cannon?
I have about 40 hit points, 39
Okay.
hit points. No,
You
just
just
I
got
took
hit
some
good.
hits.
Yeah.
I'm specced out similar to my monk in the fact that it's hard to hit me, but I've rolled like crap. So there's that.
All right, Corey.
Okay, I'm gonna back up from it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna spit acid at its face.
Okay.
So it just says, as an action, you can spray a stream of acid from your mouth targeting one creature you can see, and it deals 2d10 acid damage. It doesn't say there's a check.
Okay.
It's one of the Simic things.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is a d10? This is a d10. Please be high. Great. 7.
7.
Huh?
All right.
7. Oh, you're using that as a 6. Okay.
All
Sorry.
right.
I was
Oh,
like,
sorry.
that's 62.
That's an
Oh,
8.
that's 8. Sorry, I can't see with the...
Is that an 8?
So
Yeah.
how much is
It's
it?
8 damage.
8
acid
damage
damage.
total?
Yeah.
Okay. When you do this, the acid starts eating away at the goop, and you see it kind of go into some sort of like heart. And when it does this, the thing screams out in pain, and then it just kind of. I'm gonna make another Ghostbusters reference. Do you remember when the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man just went like that? And so now you've got like up
Melted flames.
to your like ankles in like purplish goop.
Take that back
It's hot.
to Zool.
What was that? Ugh.
It was odd.
Does it leave anything behind?
It
charred
does
heart.
not. However, there are some things on the remains of the goblins.
Okay.
Pilfer
Which I'm
the
already over there
bodies.
looking at.
Yeah.
Do you think we could steal healing potions from June's place?
So I'm going to.
She
I
activated.
stole this whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it does anything, but I stole this whip.
I would say she locked the store pretty good when you ran out.
Oh, I still
What
got
a
a big
dick.
freaking sword.
Mm.
So I'm gonna sheath my sword and I'm going to transition back, and in doing so, I'm a bloody mess.
Mm.
What was that? You had orange eyeballs.
I don't want to talk about it.
Philip, you find 2 tiger's eye and an onyx gem on the guys.
Did you tell us?
Nope.
Nope. Are there still any remnants of that box?
Philip has the box.
Okay.
Yes, I have the box. It is
Are you
electronically
putting it in a
fried.
bag for evidence?
Yeah. We have to, guys, we need chain of custody. Could someone witness that I put this in the bag?
Yes. Make sure you tag it appropriately.
Duly noted. Duly noted. We're talking into our walkie-talkie.
Yes. Dispatch. Note all of this down.
In the background, you hear.
Why won't,
Get off the button!
Dispatch is a cat.
Yeah.
Why won't
Did you
Boros-
not? Did you miss that
Was
part?
I in the bathroom?
I thought we said that.
You
So
may
there's
have.
the
I might not have
dispatch
been paying
actually
attention.
is just your own. Like the dispatch is actually a name of the cat back at base. That just he hits the he likes to paw at like the radio receiver a lot. So every now and then you just hear a meow come through.
Does dispatch have like a patch of no hair? Cause he's dispatch.
No,
No.
he's just got a tie. You got one of those like ties that he wears.
And every time
and
it
he
comes
loves
over the
that tie.
radio, I growl.
Are you part dog?
Part wolf.
Okay, we're learning more about each other.
So, how long is a short rest?
5
hour.
minutes?
It's an
Oh no,
hour.
an hour. Okay.
You can use hit dice and whatnot during that time.
Yeah.
As many as you want, or
I have cure wounds.
I need something.
I think you can do
In
as many
fact-
as you want. You
Yeah.
just don't gain. You don't regain them until you
Until
do
a
a
long
long
rest.
rest.
Long rest to
Yeah.
regain the hit
Yeah.
dice. Yeah.
Do we all want to maybe
And your
sit
spell
down
slots.
for an hour?
I'm gonna sit down.
And does anyone want to do an Arcana check on this potion?
What's that?
So I'm gonna say that while you're doing this hour, you find the nearest Boros Legion garrison, and you're
Okay.
like showering, kind of like you're like getting like
Scrubbing all the blood and
scrubbing
gore.
the
Yeah.
gut
Yeah.
and the goo off of you.
Okay.
And you kind of vouched for them, like they're with me. Special task force, they're with me.
All right.
Cool. I'm gonna heal myself. too.
Requisition in the shower. I'll be 20 minutes.
This one's more like a truck stop,
All right, so
but
we're
like militarized. We're
short
like,
rested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I I walk in there and there's a recruit in there and he's showering and I pound on the walls like, get out, your time's up. Hey man, I got 5 more minutes. And he opens up the curtain and sees me like drenched in gore. And he goes,
No, I'm
oh
done.
nope, it's your turn. You're good. and he kind of just
he
scoots
comes out.
around.
He's like, check the sketchy, man. Check the sketty.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and use hit dice if that's
Okay.
good.
Does somebody have healing before he uses his hit dice?
I don't.
Jimmy said he has cure wounds.
I do have cure wounds. However, we're just gonna we can just do hit dice right now.
Okay.
Because as a part of a short rest, I can regain
our-
spell slots.
That's nice.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So shouldn't you do the cure wounds and then do the
Well,
short rest?
I could. However,
You won't regain as many spell slots, I guess.
right. I've regained all my spell slots by
Okay.
doing this.
I'll keep doing hit dice then.
I think it's 12, 6 half dozen because it's do you use your hit dice now and have him heal you later,
Sure.
or
Right.
heal him now and you use your hit dice later.
Right.
Difference is his spells you could also use in combat.
Ooh, I like that one better.
Yeah. So I've disappeared again.
Okay.
I made my way to the what do we want to call it? An archive or
The archive. I
yeah.
just called it the Precinct 4 archives.
there we go. I made my way to the Precinct 4 archive.
All right.
I used all of my hit dice.
Are you? So you just disappear
Oh,
on your own
no.
and do this?
Yep.
Okay. I need perception checks from Corey and Jimmy.
You got it.
Because
Wait.
I'm gonna say you're in the shower.
Okay.
20 non-natural.
16.
All right. Are you specifically being sneaky stealthy or?
What is he doing?
Did you
I
add
just
your
walked away.
Okay.
con to your hit dice? Because I believe you do that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Don't you
you
add
did.
your con?
Oh.
No,
Yes.
that's your leveling up. I don't know.
No, you
I
do
think
add
you
your
do.
con
Okay.
modifier
Okay.
to your hit.
We
dice.
don't use hit dice that much.
Yeah,
so
we don't.
Good to go. Then, all right.
Something we probably
That's
should do.
another 4, which takes me to full health.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
You two notice that Visker walks out of the garrison and is walking away.
Bisker, hey, you got to check in on the walkie-talkies before you leave.
Remember the communicator
It's
policy.
part of the protocol.
Over.
SOP section 3.
All you have to do is tell us how long you're going to be gone and where you're going. It's fine.
I'll be back when I'm back.
That's not part of the protocol. We're
I
supposed
just keep
to be...
walking away.
I'm going to go and stand outside his shower. Your friend, Visker, didn't check in. He's not doing the protocols.
Yeah, you got to watch him. He bends rules.
I hate rule benders. They think they're better
'Cause
than
you're-
everyone else.
Rule benders are not.
Hey, you see that stick out there?
Yeah?
The one with the sponge at the end?
Oh, are you want me to scratch
Can you
your back?
get the back right there?
Fine.
Thanks.
You
Nice.
walked into the shower. I mean,
I get his back.
He said. She said she knocked on the door.
that's what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll scrub your back. It's fine.
You don't
Thanks.
like rule breakers because they are against the idea of harmony.
Yeah, I know. And the Simic Enclave are all rule breakers, and look what happened to them. They got acid pouches. In
You
their
bring up
throats.
weird conversations while you're scrubbing my back.
Hey, why you got so many scratches back here?
It's a long story.
All right, Jimmy, what are you
It's a
doing?
refresh.
Are you just studying?
Had a
or
fight with a big cat.
It's a cool
you,
tattoo.
You saw this
Yeah, thanks.
exchange happen.
I was yes. I was resting until I saw him leaving.
How good is
and
your survival?
Yeah, I'd like to see where our squad mate is going.
All
and
right,
why he's leaving.
So he's following you.
Okay.
I guess I'll attempt to be stealthy about it, since he's being.
Turns out as a wolf.
Since I'm being not stealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I can smell you.
Let me find my.
Also, you're
so roll
supposed to
roll some
figure out where
stealth.
spies are, right?
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
your passive perception?
16.
Okay.
Well, I rolled a 16.
What's your
He's
attacker?
technically the attacker,
Mhm.
so you don't know he's following you.
Okay.
All right.
Hell yeah.
You arrive at the Precinct 4 archives. As you step inside the Precinct 4 archives, the chaos of the district quickly fades away. As you continue through, and then you walking in behind him, the heavy wooden doors seem to almost slap away the noise, creating a more tranquil atmosphere.
Slam.
In fact, you notice of all the buildings, like this one's pretty pristine. Like it's not as damaged and stuff as some of the other buildings.
Okay.
Looking around, you see a couple patrons moving around the tall bookshelves, taking books to the handful of tables to read. At the back of the room, you see the messenger on staff jotting down a memo that's being dictated to him by an elder woman.
Okay. I will walk. Sorry.
And breathe.
Right. I will walk and breathe.
It's hard to do both
Not
at the
same time though. Yeah.
All right.
Imagine if I was chewing gum. Holy crap. So I will walk and just kind of make my presence known to the messenger. Like I'd like to speak with him, and he can.
He motions a finger to you. Like, one moment, I'm in the middle of.
Okay. So I will.
Are you walking up to the desk?
Well, no. So I'm not going to walk up to the desk because the guy just told me to hang out. So
Well,
I'm
I'm
just gonna,
meaning he's saying I'll be with you shortly. Are you gonna wait at the desk, or are you gonna mosey around?
And you
I
are
figure
walking
there's
in as a blatant Boros engine.
Yep.
Boros Legionnaire,
Mhm.
right? So.
I figure there's a couple of chairs
Yeah.
sitting around, so I'll just I'll grab a chair, and where I can see the desk but also observe.
Okay, so you see this happening. Are you just gonna sit down and be like, "Hey, what you doing here?"
Yes. I'll
Okay.
walk up. Hello. What are you looking for at the archives?
Bahar, what are you?
A
Did you
hair,
just follow me? What is his name?
bear
What's his
gill.
Bear Grin.
Beargrin. Yeah.
Yes.
Beargrin, did you just follow me?
Yes.
You
I
didn't
must
check the
admit-
protocols.
I'm sorry for scaring you. That's more the purview of my cousin Bear Thrills.
Nice.
However,
That's beautiful.
we are a squad. I wish to act as one.
Okay.
Please allow me to aid you. What are you looking up?
Well, I mean, this is really a giant library, so I'm
Mm.
just gonna get some information on is-it type devices.
Oh, a wise move. I will help you.
All right. Perception rolls from both of you.
All right. I'm great at looking through books. I am familiar with the Dewey Decimal System. 14.
18.
At the back of the room, you hear some laughing, like some snickering, and then like whispering. Looking behind the desk where the messenger is, you see 3 people sitting around a table playing cards. One of which has blue hair.
One which has blue hair. Okay.
Clearly the criminal.
Did I get a name for the messenger?
Yes, Borin de Grey.
Borin de Grey. Write that down.
He's in disguise. Now he's de blue.
Wait, he's money? De blue?
De blue.
Okay, so I guess I'll get. Okay, so Beargrin, this is I'll hand you the box. All right, Beargrin. So this is the device that had the weird trapped in it. Maybe if you could go to the is it section and see if they have anything on containment devices.
Yes,
On how
But you
they-
also saw him, the blue hair dude.
that is true.
And you know the description of him. You just don't know his name.
Of course. Well, I trust you can take care of our friend with the blue hair while I go research this.
that sounds like a plan. I'll have a chat with him.
All right. Be sure to stay on your communicator if you need any help.
I'll think about it.
This is really just Philip, right? This character's just Philip.
Do what I want.
All right.
I'm at work. I don't answer my phone. Okay, so I will. I guess I'll make eye contact with the messenger and just with the messenger at the desk and just be
Mhm.
like some sort of hand motion that we understand as like I'm gonna be a bit longer. Take your time, and I'll walk toward the card game.
Okay.
Or the game or whatever's happening in the back.
All right. You just see it's a bunch of identical, or not like identical, but they're all workers here, couriers that look like they're just kind of waiting for their assignments, kind of thing, and they're just chilling. It's not so much. It's like it's not in like a back room, but it's like, you know how like when you have like a desk, there's that room that you can see behind the desk. It's like that.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just I'm just gonna walk on back there.
Okay.
And is there another chair at the table?
Yeah.
All right. So I will sit down at the table, and from a super duper secret.
What are you saying when you sit down?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
From a super duper secreted pocket, hidden.
Secreted pocket.
That's a gross pocket.
Yes. I will. I will
Secretion pocket.
pull out my Demir,
Saving that one for later.
my little Demir emblem.
Yeah. Your
that
signet.
I have. Yeah, my signet. That's the one.
How
don't
he
know.
get that? How he get that?
You don't know nothing.
I know I don't know nothing about how you get that.
And I'll just put that on the table.
They all like nod at you, and then the one dude they look at you like, "You want in? We're about to start a new hand."
Yes, deal me in.
All right. They like Auntie's 5 silver.
I'll. Okay, so I'll pull out my. I'll just pull out my pouch and put it on the table and
Okay.
throw 5 silver. in.
Whisker, come in, come in. This is Bear Grin.
Click.
Over.
Yeah.
I found the book. Over.
So we're in the middle of the game. He's gonna be distracting some. Okay, that's great.
Just providing status updates.
Just I mean, just like you can do the research on your own. We can meet back in like a couple hours.
A firm. Over.
All right.
Very nice.
Jimmy, do an investigation check.
Yes. All right. Investigation. Ding, ding, ding. Pretty sure I have a plus a 0. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Was it a 20 first time?
It was, but it was cocked.
It was like that was a die. It like landed in a
17.
other die.
17.
All right.
17.
You have found a book talking about weirds in general, just like not
weird.
any super secret stuff, but just like what it was written by one of the Azra Senate peeps that is just kind of it's like a bestiary
What is
almost
the
of
title?
It's about to get weird.
Weirds, Stranges.
Corey, give me the title of this book.
Oh,
Let's see.
Was it a
it's-
weird?
It's not weird. No.
it's not weird, is it?
I
No.
like it. It's
Or
not weird,
let's-
is it?
Let's get weird. No, I like.
All right.
It's not weird.
So that's
Okay.
that's the book. And you can identify that it was a blister coil weird.
Blister
Who names
coil
these
weird.
things?
Mm.
Well, what's the dude's name under the picture who drew it? That'll probably be.
Mm.
I've sat down at a one of those desks with the the green reading lamps and the
Nice.
everything. So. Okay.
All right.
Everyone who just heard those mouth sounds, they were pantomiming turning on and
Philip,
off lamps.
do a sleight of hand.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Macarena.
Ooh, all right. So that's a 19.
19. You win the hand and get the pot, which is 15 silver, so
All right.
10 more than you had.
15. Did one guy sit out?
Yes, you're right. Yes. So 15. So 20 total. 15 more than you had.
15 silvers. What are these, pores?
All right. So, that's a good hand, boys. I feel like we should play another. What's so gentlemen, I'm Visker. Who are you all?
So the one guy, his name is. I did not name these guys.
It's okay. I'm not gonna remember anyway.
Dimitri?
Oh yes, one of them's name is Dimitri.
D'Artagnan?
Dimitri,
And
D'Artagnan, and Boris.
Daz.
Derek.
Dimitri, D'Artagnan, and Borin. All right. Well, let's keep playing. Let's keep playing there. So, what does everyone do?
How much
I
time?
They
believe
look
you're
at
all, I believe you're all couriers.
They
here
look at
the-
you like,
What?
This is what we do. We deliver messages.
Okay, that's understandable. What do we do in the off time? You don't just you don't deliver messages. Can we make up like a weird time system for the? Yeah, you don't deliver messages 36 hours a day, do you?
All right, then Boren kind of gives you this look, and is like, seriously, man, what do you like? Come on, just be straight with us. What do you need?
All right, Born. There was an explosion at a shop that you delivered a package to last week.
And then he gets like really defensive. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Explosion, not me. All right. I just want to, not me. I had a job to do. I did the job. There was no explosion.
I am going to.
Zone of truth him.
No, because that'll get the other guys too. I don't really care what they're doing. They're not
Kneecap
important.
him?
That sounds like a plan. I don't have anything.
Specifically for kneecaps?
Yeah. I'm gonna do detect
He left that
thoughts on him.
behind in the shower.
Oh, you're the kneecapper.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as I find that, there it is. It's up here. It was down here. Let's see. You for the duration, you can read the thoughts when you cast a spell as an action on each turn. To how do you?
So all of a sudden you hear in your head,
Yeah.
hey, I can
Oh,
do
that-
that. I can do that too.
Oh, fudge.
Like he does. His mouth is closed. You hear this voice in your head,
Oh.
or the thought that you hear
Uh huh.
is, oh hey, yeah, I can do that too.
Legelimens.
Oh. Okay. Good.
That confirms he's a spy.
Yeah. Okay.
How much
got it.
time has passed since they left?
We'll say it's probably been like 2 hours.
Are we wondering where they are yet?
Hell yeah. Can I do an arcana check real quick to figure out what this potion is?
Sure. Let me figure out what this
Yeah.
potion is.
There we go.
Speaking of which, while you're figuring things out, can you figure out this lightning whip?
Well, I'm gonna just say it gives you an advantage on distractions.
Heck yeah.
Because remember, I said it didn't.
So it's
it
more
didn't.
of like a sparkler whip.
That's literally. I said that it's more of a distraction.
You did. I just imagine this coming up in conversation and be like, whoosh, distracted.
That's not that bad.
Hey, what's that?
Honestly, you know what I was thinking of?
Look
like,
over there.
does anybody remember the Thundercats show?
No.
Oh.
You know, Chitara had the whip that was like the little balls that would like.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, but they like reach out and just kind of go and explode.
I'm a intelligent wolf man, and now I have something to draw the cats closer.
Exactly.
Oh no.
You
You
kitty,
be
kitty,
nice
kitty.
to
You
dispatch.
kitty, kitty.
We're friends now, but you hurt dispatch.
All right, so
I'm looking up potions real quick.
Cool,
Stand
cool.
by.
electric whip just gives advantage, or gives distraction.
Oh,
Yeah, what would that be? Or intimidation.
/ intimidation. Okay.
What you need?
Gives a narrative effect that
Yeah.
we agree
It's
is
a
good.
narrative effect.
All right.
I didn't want to give you anything too bad off the top of my head.
No, that's fine. I just want to know if it's useful. Like, can we tie people up with it and then hit the button to shock them?
Maybe.
Yo. That sounds like a good choice to me.
That seems like it fits within the bounds, right?
Could you put it into a body of water and then electrify people?
I don't know.
Maybe that we're right next to
We'll
it.
have to ask Bear Gills.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
Hey, I didn't know you were still down here.
Or perhaps my
Hey, sitting on the couch.
cousin who owns a bottling company, Bear Phil's.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Or your cousin who literally is a shrimp, Bear Krills.
Just as long as we stay away from your cousin who's wanted for murder, Bear Kills.
Oh, not Bear
yeah,
Kills.
He's shunned
Yeah.
in the family.
He's the black sheep.
And
All right.
his twin brother,
what's
who is
your- what's
very
your-
sickly, Bear Ills. Sorry, go ahead. 16 is what I got.
What about
he
your-
killed,
Really
he
cool.
killed your farmer brother, Bear Tills.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
I already made that one.
Oh, you did. All right, I missed that one. Sorry.
But
No,
but
it's just
It has been a while.
but when he killed it, you found out what you won or what you inherited from your other cousin Bear Wills.
Nice.
Works at the
and
local
it
law
was
firm.
it was the farm which was co-owned by your other cousin Bear Daffodils
That's right.
because it's a daffodil
Mhm.
farm.
And he had a granary that was owned by Bear Mills.
We got to be running out of them. Right? I'm surprised there are this
All right,
many.
so what was your Arcana roll on the bottle?
16.
16. This is a potion of giant strength.
Hell yeah. I'm about to be strong.
So
good, I have
when you drink it, your strength score changes to a 21 for 1 hour.
Jeez.
What if you just
Is
like
strength your attacking thing?
No.
Okay.
Dexterity.
Depends.
What do you mean?
If you're like by default, strength is your attacking thing.
Nope.
If
I've spec'd my guy
for you, yes. I'm saying on an average.
She was asking for me.
Oh, for
Yeah,
you.
I just meant
okay.
like, would it be smart to?
Sorry,
give it to
I thought
him?
you were saying in general.
Yeah.
So I gain advantage on all strength rolls
Gotcha.
when I'm in wolf form.
Well,
what if
that's
you like
good to know just in case we need it.
Yeah.
what if you like stick your finger in the bottle real quick and just take a little drip?
So it's not an hour. It's just like the next 5 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna say. You get muscle
Look, I
cramps.
can lift it. Ah, shit.
I'm gonna say you
Exactly.
get muscle cramps because they expand and contract so quickly.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you get one like 10 seconds of.
No, I'm not
greatness.
even saying like with the drip. You're just like, oh, my knee, cramps.
Your knee
Like,
of all
well,
the muscles.
sorry,
that's-
like
your quads.
whatever. What's above your knee? Whatever that muscle above your knee
My
is.
damn knee muscle.
I was
It
rubbing.
hurts.
I was
My knee
rubbing
muscle
it.
hurts.
whoa, dude.
Not it. Not
Okay,
one.
I'm just saying.
So
what's going on
potion
over
of,
there.
Potion of strength.
Potion of giant strength.
That's pretty cool. Giant strength.
If the giant's the important part.
Exactly.
Giant.
Well,
It
you can
was-
get that was the uncommon version.
Yeah.
There are ones that did go up like even higher. You can get like even higher
Yeah.
scores.
There was potion of hobbit strength. It might not be so.
It would allow you to drink everything.
Yes.
That's right. Right.
Your feet would get hairy all of a sudden for some reason.
I'm gonna say it also narratively makes you bigger.
Oh, and you'll get big.
Like we'll say it's like you go up one size class,
There you go. You become a giant.
That's legit.
but the mechanical effect is your strength score goes up.
Yeah. Cool.
That makes sense.
But you have to talk in slow motion.
And your dex
Wow,
and you have disadvantage on
guys.
dexterity saving
Okay.
throws
I'll write that down.
because I added that narrative bit in there.
There
Fair
we go.
enough.
Disadvantage.
Sounds like a one.
All right. Where were we? Yes.
Yes, we're both in each other's heads.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, got a little defensive there on the place exploding. I didn't say you did it. I just said you were there.
I just don't want people thinking that like I blew my cover and look, I got paid. We have our side jobs.
Yeah.
I had a piece of information that I knew somebody would want, and I gave it to them.
Okay.
That was it.
All right. You need to calm down here, friend.
Just saying.
All right, we're all in this together.
You're not the first one that's come. I've had some other higher ups asking me about this because there's been some buzz around.
All right. Do you, so there was also out of character. Who got spooked?
Who got spooked?
Yes. Did Cloak get spooked or did the blue hair
He
get
did.
spooked?
The guy you're talking
Can't
to.
tell.
Okay, gotcha.
Can't tell if that's a spy pun or not.
A what?
Spy pun.
A spy pun? Who got
Spooked. Yeah.
spooked?
Who
Yeah.
got spooked?
Okay.
It was this guy.
Okay, gotcha. So what made you what got under your skin when you were making this delivery?
That was the information. So I was delivering the parcel. I don't normally deliver to Beast Haven. And I saw a lady that I recognized at the not at the shop, not at Delvar's, but the stable house next door.
Who's the lady?
Well, I know she goes by like she claimed her name was hold on, I'm finding it. She claimed her name was Madeline Alderman.
I
But,
thought you were gonna say Madeline
Albright.
Albright.
I did too.
But I knew her as Cara Sinclair. She was engaged to one of those nasty dudes, the syndicate guys. Ran off 10 years ago. Nobody could find her. We suspected somebody was helping her hide. With her being this close, there had to have been magics involved. So our normal couriers didn't know anything about it. It just happened to be that I took that route that day and saw her. So I've worked with the syndicate guys before. I passed along the tip, and they must have done something with it.
All right. So part of my cover is being some kind of like investigator person. Can you help me figure out who made this thing?
I don't. That looks like is it thing.
Well, yeah, I got
Yeah,
that
but
far.
is it?
But whose is it?
Any particular
What's
way?
is
Any particular way of figuring out where it was made? I mean, is there like a marking on here somewhere?
You'd have to talk to one of our is it contacts. That's not me.
All right.
I do more Orzhov work than I do is it.
It says right here, made in, and I can't make out those last
I
letters.
can't make out that last letter on there. Yeah. All right. So
China, that's what it was.
we. How
All
much,
right.
how much of their money have I taken?
20 or 15 silver at this point, because it was after the opening hand. That was like the icebreaker, and then it was like, okay, what are you doing here?
So what are the other two guys doing as we're just like in each other's heads?
They just kind of like rolling their eyes.
Oh.
Should we play the other two guys?
Yes.
We're not involved in the scene at all.
What is? What's the conversation that's happening out loud?
Why are they eerily staring at one another?
I'm not sure.
You notice that too? They're like gazing into each other's
By the way, you're
souls.
both Demir people as well.
Are we
so-
saying this into each
Yeah,
other's
but we're not
heads?
involved in their mind conversation,
Right.
right?
So we're in our own mind conversation. Pretty sure
You
that
could just
one's
be out loud.
cheating. The
Like,
bo-
like on the other one? That would explain the looks.
oh, are they dating?
They could be.
Oh, but do you think they're cheating?
If they're dating, they may be working together.
That's
Maybe
what I was
they're
gonna
cheating
say. They're trying
us.
to take our money.
Dude,
Okay, so maybe we should roll sleight of hand and take the money back. What do you say, D'Artagnan?
that sounds good.
I'm gonna
Wonder Twins activate.
I'm gonna say, because this is a fun narrative twist. I'm gonna say instead this would be the GM advantage if we were playing Cypher. I'm gonna say that the two just rocket out of their chairs and just like, we told you to stop cheating, Bora, and just start smacking the shit out of this dude.
Oh.
Oh,
Like this has been a thing before.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We
And-
can hear you mind fucking that guy.
yeah. And I feel like it's not
Like they are like they pounce like over the table. It's one of those the table goes sideways and the coins go
Can
in the
it
air.
not be
Ooh.
super violent? Instead, we're like giving him really bad wedgies.
No,
and
this is
purple
like
nurples.
Nope.
you've done that before and it didn't do any. This is full on like just beating the crap out of him.
Okay, I want to steal all his shit.
And then they
I'll hold him down. You give him a wet willy.
oh,
all right.
wet. I puncture his eardrum. It's
Oof.
bleeding.
Oh,
Oh.
I don't want to hold
Ow.
him anymore. Don't no.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
too far,
Sorry,
Corey.
I didn't mean
Too
to.
far, Corey.
Yeah. So I quickly grab my coin purse before the table goes. And
as
What
they-
about the one on the table?
as they knock him out and
Never mind, we missed that
they're
one.
like they're rifling through his stuff. They pull out like a piece of paper and look at it and throw it off to the side.
What is this,
Mine now.
paper? Ew.
It
Is
appears
this your cheat sheet?
it's
Where's
some
my
sort
money?
of it's some sort of memo. It you can tell that there's some sort of signet on it.
Okay. I'll
That's
will-
been broken. Like the signet's been
the seal's been broken.
seal's
Gotcha. Yeah. So they took a piece of paper, made it into its own envelope. All right.
Can I
Gotcha.
see the Guildmaster's code?
Yeah.
Can I turn to Visker and say, as Dimitri, you saw nothing?
Huh?
Cool.
Well, see, this is clearly an internal dispute. You gentlemen have a good day.
So Visker's like pocketing. Are you pocketing the note for now?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys kind of like get out and you go
Don't
meet
cheat with him again. And we piece out the other
All
way.
right.
Fisker, you'll be happy to know I completed an audit of the archives recycling system. There are no recycling bins. I will be writing up a formal citation.
All right. I'm gonna say
Dispatch, make a note of
that's
that.
the note. Like you guys are walking out of the library. Scene swipe to you two are you've left the garrison. I'm assuming at this point and trying to track them down.
Yeah, I think we've stopped and we're like at a little shop cart thing and we're eating like a I don't know like kebabs or an you know empanada or something, right?
Who runs like the mercantile class?
So I will say this because this is like a good stopping point.
Okay.
So what happens is, and if this is the movie Split Screen, and we have
There's a movie called Split Screen.
like we have Split Screen where
Oh,
there-
okay.
There are two, like Ocean's 11 style.
Yes,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
where you
gotcha.
have Visker and Berggren on the bottom walking along, and you two on top. Split screen, kind of both in your own worlds.
And we both
Suddenly-
look like we're waving to each other,
No.
but then it turns out we're not.
No, but at the same time, you start to see this fog kind of collecting around you. It's night. It's past sunset at this point. It's been a while.
It's the fog of memory.
So this fog creeps up, and you start feeling really sleepy.
So I'm gonna turn to this one and be like, "This fog normal for you?"
And as this, I'm gonna say, all four of you pass out.
Right where we
I
are.
don't
right
even
where
get
you
a.
are.
Did I finish my food at least?
You were walking.
I hope I
It's
was.
half in your mouth.
Yeah.
We both have burritos just on our bods.
And you fall to the ground as some dark cloaked figures pick up your body and pull you away.
Dun, 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 dun.
And we'll resume
My
that next time on the Dirtbags
Bags
of
of
Holding.
What do their cloaks look like?
You don't know, you're asleep.
What kind of?
I
Wait, we
feel like-
should roll against that.
I feel like
What's the roll against
A
that?
con
It would be a
save.
con
What?
save.
it's going to be a con save against
Unless
like
we get a
a
20,
DC
it
of
doesn't
50,
count.
okay? That's what it's going to happen.
No, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
What is
10.
this? What is that? 17.
Nat 4.
Yeah, I got a 17. There's no way the DC's higher than that. Maybe it is.
DC of like 50, that's what it is. Yeah. So as
GM intrusion. There we go. That's another GM intrusion.
before they
Okay,
pick
but
up
I get a fate point.
exactly, there you go. Before they pick up your body, Chris.
Sure. You know what? Yes, I will give everybody inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm checking that down.
I'll give everybody inspiration for allowing me to narrative do that.
Plus
And-
1 inspiration.
And there's a button for it on D&D Beyond.
There
Yeah.
is.
Yay.
There's also a
I
box
don't know
right there
where
on
it
the
is.
character
Because you're
sheet.
narratively,
Oh, there you go.
you're
Near the top.
narratively playing along and letting me control the story a little bit there.
Yeah.
As Chris falls to the ground, he had it half in his mouth, but his body is still just reacting. So like he just chomps and chews down some more.
That's right. As I'm falling, I'm like, I know I'm losing consciousness, but I'm eating
But I
this
gotta
burrito.
finish this burrito.
So was that anything like you thought it would be?
So actually fell kind of in place a little bit how I thought it might. The beginning was where I didn't know how you were gonna go, and
Gotcha.
therefore I didn't make that as structured.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like I planned
Yeah, it's fine.
correctly. In fact, it was funny because that was something you could have found out about the whole Madeline piece if somebody had gone
the
to the
stables?
stable.
I think we did a pretty good job of like spending our time wisely.
Yeah. Well, that
Never
was the
know
thing
those.
is that was kind of my first time doing well, not first time, but like I was really trying to do here's things that they could find out in the area.
Yeah.
Um
And you laid clues pretty well, which is nice.
yeah. So it was kind of I didn't know which threads you were going to
Yeah,
pull on.
right.
Cuz I had planned it so that the shop or the library could have been an either or. You didn't necessarily. You were gonna probably find similar information at one or the other. You wouldn't have had the weird attack. You would have instead the library. I'd had planned for you to fight them.
Ah.
That was a fun
okay.
fight.
Did you do you have a couple pages in there? So if Philip's an asshole, and then we just do this
No.
stuff right? Okay.
But it was just like when you went, it made more sense for you to be talking to them than to get your information by just fighting them.
You know who's the biggest asshole in the game?
Me.
Bolo.
Bear Phils.
I'm
It's the bad guy.
trying to think of more things that rhyme with kills.
I know.
bear landfills.
Oh, what about your druggy bear pills?
There you go.
What about your
No,
cousin
that's
who's
the Dr. Bear pills.
what about your cousin who's a
It- so-
flautist?
So
Bear Trills.
Does he give out bear pills?
Yeah, I wouldn't think he gives
Are
out
they, like,
pills. No,
giant
they're pills that
he-
turn you into bears.
Yes,
Well,
there we
Bear
go.
pills.
He is also a vet as well.
Oh,
so,
there you go.
He's
for
a
a bear.
he's a Simic vet that
Then there's
Mhm.
there's your druid family member who forever got turned into a porcupine, Bear Quills.
Bear Quills.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he
He can't shapeshift back.
he was he owned a
he's-
general contracting business with bear drills
Oh, that makes sense.
until he got turned into a porcupine. of
Yeah,
course.
that makes sense.
Right.
Oh, he stayed in his wild shape for more than 2 hours.
Wait.
Now he's stuck.
We really
It
need
was
to
1 hour,
write
right?
these down
2
and
hours. It was 2
establish
hours?
this architecture around your family, right?
oh, this needs to happen. They need to come into play here.
Right?
And then we just provide that list to Chris, and he makes them NPCs. Like, oh, it's my brother,
It's my brother.
We need to start.
cousin.
I'll make a thing for it in the OneNote book. The OneNote book. Where we could put
The bears.
Jimmy's
the
relatives.
Where there'll be OneNote for everybody. Put links to their D&D Beyond, so we don't have
Gotcha.
to scroll through Slack.
Yeah.
And then we'll make one that's just Bear Grylls family tree,
Yep.
Yep.
I love it.
or not family tree.
You
just
need to call it
relatives.
Da Bears.
Da
Like
Bears.
you
Da
said.
Bears. Da
Da
Bears.
Bears.
Stop bears.
So the way we'll play it is
Do you want us to leave these sheets with you, or
it's,
take them?
you take them.
Okay.
You be responsible because apparently I'm not very responsible.
Fair enough.
So in 2 weeks when we do the topic show, after the topic show we'll finish or we'll do the
Do
other,
more.
We'll do more.
I really like my character. I feel like this will be a fun one to
Man,
do for a while.
when is 2 weeks? What date is that?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I ask because I'm supposed to travel.
the 27th.
Yes.
That should be fine.
I
I travel shortly thereafter.
Gotcha. What do you guys want to talk about? Like as a topic, we can talk more specifics. But do you have anybody have any ideas? Like we could go grand, especially topical in this regard, and do adventure planning,
That's true. I
or
do
just
like
kind of
that.
like like initial concepts. Like where do you get ideas? Not necessarily how do you draw them out, but where do you get ideas from?
Yeah. Like as a GM, how to structure encounters and then full stories.
Well, we could go
How
into
do you deal with players who just make a whole family tree around?
Yep.
well, I wasn't necessarily getting that deep. That could be further down the line. I'm thinking just more idea-wise. How do you generate ideas for, like, what your step, like, kind of like the initial concept sort of phase.
The overarching concept.
Yeah, that sort of bit. Where do you get ideas from? How do you think about what? How do I start?
So not how to implement them, just how
Yeah.
to get a basic idea.
Yeah. Where do I start planning an adventure?
Yeah, that could be good.
Pick a system. Go.
Pick
we'll
source-
talk about that on the show. That's step one.
Pick
Yeah.
source material that you enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
that you have a vested interest in.
That's
Try
Pick-
not to pick something so obscure that nobody else is going to understand any of the
exactly.
Pick your favorite
nuances that you
TV
want.
show and then steal the